Hey, good evening. Good Tuesday evening to you. How is everybody? It's good to see you. It's good to be here. I'm glad you're here, and it's good to be seen by you. For those of you who may be swinging by for the first time, my name is Bill Silvey, and this is just this weekly, well, not weekly, but I do it every weeknight, stream thing that I do, and I come and I sit here and we talk about Dungeons and Dragons and other classic tabletop role-playing games, classic versions of tabletop role-playing games, and occasionally, like tonight, like you'll see later tonight, we stream some games too, and we have a lot of fun. Greetings, Fred Daniel, GR, good to see you, sir. How are you this evening? Winterwolf, howdy do, y'all. But anyway, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad everybody's here. Like I said, I always say it's good to see you and it's good to be seen by you. And I mean that. It is good to be seen by you guys. You're there. I'm here. But let's hang out. Let's talk about things. So I don't have any more news regarding what's going on with Dragonlance and Spelljammer and WotC essentially not acknowledging the developers of those, but as I learn more, you'll learn more. I'll bring you that news. I'll bring you that information. So, thank you. The registrations for the Great Underground Online Gaming Convention, which, guys, it's a month away now. Less than a month. It's like 26 days away now to the guac. Maybe even less than that. Registrations continue to come in. I'm going to go look in on the grid later tonight. Hello, Dungeon Minister. Good to see you. Vince, I hope we do. We'll see. I hope you're wrong. I hope we have more than that. You guys don't mind if I have a frosty beverage, do you? This is Lightning Kugel's Summer Shandy. Instant Evening Vincent. But anyway, yeah, if you're not registered for the Great Underground Online Gaming Convention, please go check us out on Band. And if you need the link, if somebody's out there watching, then you're gonna have to you're gonna have to get that yourself, or Corian. But if anybody needs that link, let me know, and I'll share it. I'll put it over there in the bleep bloop in the comments. But anyway, but registrations are going really well. I'm excited about it. A Dungeon Minister was kind enough to put together some merch, which I think did you send me the link to? I could swear up and down you sent me the link to that somewhere, Dungeon Minister. I think it's somewhere in Teespring or something like that. But yeah, if you want some guaca merch, see if I can find that for you real quick here. And by the way, if you're watching over on Facebook, hello to you too. Not to you two, the band. I don't think Bono plays D&D. I could be wrong. I've been wrong about things before. Well, I thought I was wrong about something once, but I was mistaken. Let me see. There. So if you want... kind of came back up the wrong way. If you want some guac merch, if it's like, I want a con shirt. There you go. Bono has left the chat. I'll have you know I play Dungeons and Dragons, mister. And that affects the whole damn world. God, can you imagine playing D&D with Bono? I just have this feeling he'd play a druid, just like the most druidy druid. You dwarves dig in the earth and you tear the metal out of it. Do you ever give any consideration for the earth? But yeah, you can go get yourself some merch. I think I'm going to have to get a pint glass from the from that a mopey bard. Nah, I know that's too on the nose. That is too on the nose. Thank you, Dungeon Minister, to say that he would play a bard. Although he's got the crowd pull, you know, the charm a mass of people. So tonight, hang on, I still had Gamble World notes up, and I swear if I didn't save them, the computer would just decide to reboot. Why not, Lord Corian? I mean, Led Zeppelin exists in my game. But anyway, let's see here. Speaking of things that make characters be mopey, just as I promised, just as I swore I would do to you guys, we're going to dive deeper into D1. Last night, I mean, I really, like, sitting back here like this with a module doesn't help you guys, and sometimes that camera is not the best thing in the world, so we're going to do a little screen. I'm going to see if it's going to let me share this. I'm going to open this up. Let's see. Find it. Okay, you're gonna let me share screen. Okay. I want you guys to see this. We are going to look at some of the advanced mechanics of D1 Descent into the Depths of the Earth. Now, here we have the pastel cover. You can see it. Thank Dungeon Minister for the merch, Vinny. First of 3 modules. You know, it's kind of a washed out scan. Not a great one. Take Lich. Thank you, Robert Phillips. I appreciate that. Take Lich to lunch. And in case you're wondering, no, I did not do this scan myself. And you can tell because, first of all, this is the DM's map, and it's not colored like my DM's map and my module is. It is a GW logo you can see there on the screen. And there is a £1.50 price tag right here. But the contents are the same. Now, we're going to kind of skip the preamble. I'm not really going to read into a lot of this, except notes for the Dungeon Master only, because this is kind of part of the perfection of this module. And by perfection, I mean perfection required. I was not kidding last night when I said that this is your graduate exam as a DM, the D series. It really is. So let's begin. This is on page 2 of module D1, Descent into the Depths. Notes for the Dungeon Master only. Travel along the tunnels will be at a slow rate due to the slippery and sometimes slanting floors. Footing is treacherous in places, and the tiers to clamber down are sometimes nearly 3 feet from top to bottom. If mules are taken, they will not slow progress at all, as they are sure-footed and can negotiate the passageways with relative ease. The rubbles and detritus natural projections, protrusions, ledges, and stone icicles. Maybe Gary forgot stalactites and stalagmites. Are more pronounced and prove hazardous only in the secondary and tertiary tunnels, which are lesser traveled than the main arteries of the lightless world. Assume the maximum rate of travel is 1 mile, 1 hex. I got that wrong last night, by the way. Per day, per 1 inch of basic movement rate of the slowest member of the expedition, only if unnecessary delays and careful map making are avoided. Reduce movement by 1 mile for every hour of delay and assume that careful mapping will slow the party to 6 miles per day maximum. You may have crevasses and sinkholes as often as is illustrated with the tunnel pieces, or you may include such hazards every mile or so. There is certainly a chance for a slip and fall into a crevasse if proper care is not exercised by the party. Crevasses are 110 to 300 feet deep, so consider any fall as fatal if it is not prevented in some way. Adventurers roped together using poles to hold onto, etc., are not likely to slip. Otherwise, consider there is a 1 in 20 chance of slipping when trying to move around or otherwise pass over a crevasse. Any such slip will precipitate a fatal fall. Sinkholes are 10 to 80 feet deep. While there is no real chance of slipping into them, if the party is running in haste or traveling without light, treat sinkholes as pits with a 1 in 3, 1 to 2 on a d6 chance of falling in. Damage thus sustained is 1d6 per 10 feet. So we're really getting a feel for how hazardous this world can be. Now, encounter areas. So we'll kind of go, we'll just skip over ceiling height here. The first encounter area is Hex D3. It cannot be avoided. This Drow checkpoint will be detailed fully hereafter. The second encounter area can be avoided by taking a circuitous route of secondary and tertiary passages. Hex M12 is a secret advanced post for Ithalid, Mind Flayer expansion in the area. A place the Drow are aware of, and if the expedition kills the Mind Flayers and proves the deed to any Drow they happen to meet, it is 90% probable the Dark Elves will be friendly with the party despite any past conflicts, and if the adventurers express an interest, give them a black medallion, the pass which will enable them to go through Drow areas without undue questioning or molestation. Now consider that. A party of mostly goods working hand in black chainmail gauntlet with a Drow after having slain the Mind Flayers. Now look how deep we are into this, and we still don't have any numbered encounter areas to discuss other than the unavoidable checkpoint. All noted encounter areas will be handled by the DM with great care. Antagonists of the party will react and act in an organized fashion. The Drow and Ithalids with great cunning and cleverness, the inhabitants of the Terminal Cavern encounter not quite so intelligently, but with vigor and purpose. This, of course, excludes both the Drow Watchers and the stupid creatures in the place, and applies to the Trolls, Bugbears, Troglodytes, etc. Hello, Tonka Todd. And Tonka, you're behind. Robert Phillips has taken the lead on supers. That's evil of me. I shouldn't do that. There are separate tables for random encounters in the tunnels. Each table according to the category of the tunnel the party is marching through or encamped in, and for wandering monster encounters in the module termination area, the Warrens of the Troglodytes. These tables are given hereafter. Generally, 1 check for a random encounter will be made for each mile of tunnel traveled through, with 1 check per hour being made in the terminal area and 1 check per night being made when the expedition encamps for a night's rest. The probability of such an encounter vary according to the locale and are shown on each table. You will observe here that only piece 11, or piece 2 rather, is used for encounters listed here. The other 2 pieces are simply added for use as desired when random encounters with wandering monsters occur. Greetings, Lord Corion. Good to see you. wait. Lord Corian, you've been here. You were saying hi to Tonka Todd. I got you now. I got you. Let's see. Mentions the Germaline, a potentially dangerous nuisance monster which can be used to interesting effect elsewhere. Full information regarding Dark Elves is given in Dungeon Module G3. Despite the... Whoops. Whoa. Sorry about that. Whiplash. Despite the difficulty of the two encounter areas prior to the terminal one, this module is not as difficult and demanding as Hall of the Fire Giant King, for example. Just as Sitting of the Hill Giant Chief prepared the players for the successively greater challenges of the next two module, Descent introduces the players to a new environment and hazards ahead in the succeeding parts of the whole. There is plenty of danger, though, and any party bent on self-destruction can accomplish the task with relative ease. As with any dungeon mastering, you must always be fair and as unbiased as possible. Do not penalize the party if they take sensible steps to ensure a successful adventure, such as deciding to take a number of pack mules to carry supplies and equipment, even an extra spell book. Neither help by suggestion or interference nor hinder in any manner not called for. Managing a party with mules can be trying for a referee, but it is probable that these beasts will be slain at the first encounter area anyway. As there is no practical way of establishing any sort of route camp to safely store goods of any sort, the players will be presented with a great problem in any event, for beyond the first encounter area, teleportation over any distance greater than 1/2 mile will be impossible. Inform any characters with this ability that they can feel magnetic forces, which they know will certainly prevent normal teleportation. Thus, short of the use of a wish, the party is committed to go and return afoot. They may have to return to the surface after concluding this module, or they may be able to press on, for the treasures along the way are aimed at supplying them with the force necessary to continue, and certain creatures have been placed in order that they may offer assistance or succor. Here are the bones of the adventure. You must breathe life into this framework after you flesh it out. So right there, I keep saying framework, skeleton, scaffold. Right there at the bottom of page 3. The bones of the adventure, you must breathe life into it. And guys, this module, hey, I think I see Dungeon Minister over here. Right there. This module really is all about good preparation. There were some comments last night about, oh, well, it's not complete. It's not a good module. It is as complete as you want it to be. Again, remember, this was run as a tournament module. You can just run the 4 encounter areas that are numbered and see how long it takes the players to get through them. Greetings, Mobius. Hello. But let's continue. Now we get to some of the mechanical stuff. Random monster tables for passages. Encounters occur as shown. Check each hex, each mile. So let's just look at this. 1 in 10 chance of encountering a monster. A patrol of drow males, a giant slug or purple worm, 1 to 4 trolls with 9 to 16 troglodytes, 2 to 5 ghasts with 9 to 16 ghouls, a rust monster or 2 to 5 fire beetles. Should harken back to your days playing B2. Drow merchants, small train, drow patrol of females, a beholder. A beholder. Or 2 to 5 fire beetles. That's a hell of a coin toss, Gary. It's a Super Star Destroyer. Or it's a 5-person pleasure craft. A gas spore, or 2 to 5 fire beetles. 3 to 12 shadows, or 2 to 5 fire beetles. Fire beetles are everywhere. Gas spores again. Gargoyles. A mixed drow patrol. We have yellow mold, brown mold, and I think this is a funny typo, green lime. I think Gary meant green slime. Descent into the Depths is probably 9th through 12th. Were-rats with 1 to 2 mind flayers, ithalids. 19 to 24 bugbears with 25 to 30 slaves. A large train of drow merchants. Black pudding, ochre jelly, or gray ooze, or a mixed patrol of drow. Secondary passage, you have a 1 in 12 chance. Shriekers, giant spiders, or phase spiders. A mixed patrol of drow, a small train of drow merchants. A lurker above. I'm not going to keep saying fire beetles because you can see very clearly on the screen there's fire beetles. Well, you can make a improvised throwing weapon, Dungeon Minister. So you put the lime in the coconut. But here, you've got more drow patrols, lurkers above, shadows, giant slugs, subterranean lizards, huge, +4 hit points per die. That's right, 5 to 12 hit points for every hit die. A bulette, or boulet. I say bulette. I've said bulette since I was 10. So, and yeah, exactly. You can't forget that stage and mix it all up. GR, there's always room for Jello. Piercers, rust monsters, gas and ghouls again, bugbears, purple worm, ropers, come and knock on our door. Were-rats and ithalids, shriekers and violet fungi. And then tertiary passages, we get fun stuff like Zorn, Umber Hulks, vastly underrated creatures, Umber Hulks, rust monsters, more green slime, more piercers, giant ants, Germaline, vampire, ithalids, piercers, a slithering tracker. What was the last time you put a slithering tracker in your games? Orcs are overrated. Send in the slithering trackers. Let the party wake up and find a member of the party who's just like this desiccated husk. I wonder about that. A lich. 16, just a lich, just roaming around. Shambling mounds, shriekers, more giant ants, a trapper. No, I didn't actually play this module when I was young. We always did like a homebrew, or I was running some thing at, just to some part of B2. And then here it details the drow patrols and what they're capable of doing. Mixed patrols. And then when you run into if you're like, hey, what about, those slaves? Could we free them from the bugbears? Well, here's a chart. The exact mixture can be determined as follows, and then you just roll. You could wind up with Mostly bugbears, gnolls, and goblins, and orcs, and troglodytes, potentially. Pack lizards. You know, it's already said the mules are probably going to die after the first encounter. You probably might want to seize on some pack lizards. And then look at the treasure that the Drow merchant have. 110 to 300 silver ingots, 100 gold pieces weight each. Gold ingots, platinum ingots, mithril bars, adamantine bars, 1 to 100 base 50 gold piece value gems. This is why you prep this module beforehand. Because remember, the Drow merchant trains are all over all of the charts. There's a chance you could run into multiples of them. You really got to be on your toes with that. 1 to 100 bait, not 1 to 150 gold piece gems. 1 to 100 base. Imagine you get 89 gems. You've got some homework to do, boys and girls. That is a challenging evening. Drow have 1 to 4 platinum piece per level of experience, 2 to 8 per level of multi-class. Each Drow merchant will have an equal number of gold pieces and 1 to 4 100 gold piece base value gems. Guys, if you take your notebook, as I'm going to do, not right this minute, but if you take your notebook and you sit down and you start making notes and you start writing, you have got a lot of work ahead of you. And then there's just random stuff. Just random stuff that the Drow can be carrying. So we have our first fixed encounter area, D3, using counter piece 2 for this meeting, facing either end of the piece in a southwest, southeast, northwest direction to conform to the passageway. The area is south of the tunnel nexus. It is dimly illuminated by phosphorescent lichens. This is a Drow checkpoint with 2 separate patrol groups, males to the left, females to the right. The males will have 2 pickets out on duty to observe the passage in both directions. Despite rivalry, each will cooperate fully with the other in an intelligent attack and defense pattern. The 2 groups are detailed below. Drow male contingent, and then there's all the things that the Drow can do, including a fighter magic user, 5th, 7th level. He's got Ice Storm, Dungeon Masters. Use him wisely. And the Canoness has 3 glass globes filled with a fluid which is a luminous irritant which vaporizes to form a cloud of 10 feet diameter with a 12 feet height. Creatures in this vapor cloud are covered with droplets which makes them shine and glow, thus causing a reduction of their armor from 1 to 4 places as they are easier to hit. This effect lasts from 2 to 5 turns or until the fluid is washed off. In addition, exposed creatures must save versus poison at -4 on their dice rolls. Those who fail are effectively blinded and out of action, scratching furiously for 7 to 10 melee rounds or until the eyes and body are doused to cleanse them of the irritant. 1 round plus 1 round recovery time in any event. And we've got an evil high priestess. And, of course, a ton of treasure. I always loved this picture of the Ithalid with it looks like he's got sweat droplets, like he's kind of like, like he's doing a Columbo, like, pardon me, ma'am, one more question. Oh, look who we've got sitting out there. It's the Viking Hat GM. I'm going to welcome in Kyle. What do you say, buddy?
Hey, boys and girls.
Welcome back, my friend. Good to see you. Welcome back from your hiatus.
I've got a dentist appointment tomorrow, so I thought I would pop in today instead and sit here and eat some chocolate.
Make that dentist trip worth it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right on. Well, we're just, have you ever looked at D1, Kyle?
Which one's that? I only remember the names.
Descent into the Depths of the Earth.
No, I have not.
I think you would like this because it is an outdoor hex crawl, but it's all underground. Okay. So you and I could have tons of fun using the tables in this module, populating hex after hex with subterranean horrors. Mm-hmm. It would be oodles of fun. Lord Corion wants to know if you brought enough chocolate for everyone.
Maybe like one piece each. There was an occasion in the army. It was, I don't know, recruit course, infantry course or something. And a guy had smuggled a Mars bar into his backpack before going out into the bush to practice, navigation and all that sort of stuff. And we were out there for a few days. So the corporal made him cut it up into 30 pieces to share with the entire platoon. We had to sharpen his bayonet so he could slice. The Mars bar didn't slice very well because it's got that caramel in it. So
yeah,
it doesn't. Chocolate
and that Australian heat too. I'm sure it was nice and mushy, right?
Yeah. It was warm weather. It was like 30 something degrees, like body temperature weather. So it was just it didn't work very well. I think they were trying to demonstrate a point.
Yes.
More than anything.
Yes.
It's just like when with your kids, you tell them if they bring out lollies or something, they have to share them with their friends. They can't have their friends around and then just bring out their lollies from their stash and sit there eating them in front of their friends.
Right.
You don't have to bring them out, but if you do, you have to share them. But sorry, guys, it's a bit tough when we're just online.
Yeah. There's I'm sure there may be something like this. You saw, you might have seen the original, or there might be something floating around with the Australian Armed Forces. It's like 30 things Private Fluffy is no longer allowed to do, or Recruit Fluffy, or whatever. And 15 is chew gum while standing roll call, and 16 is even if you did bring enough for everybody.
Yeah, it's a bit rough. And what's Guy saying? The immediate R becomes impassable. I think that's spam.
Oh, that's Cal. Unless Cal's been taken over by a bot. But no, we're talking about D1 and D1. Really, if you're running modules, the G series is like your PhD course as a player.
Yeah.
The D series is your PhD course as a dungeon master, because D1 is all framework. There's like 6 fixed encounters. Everything else you have to put together. So all the stuff that Kyle and I have talked about with hex filling and building, you have to do all of that beforehand. in this module and let the dice land where they may.
Or you could just make it up on the spot. I was a bit shocked in the Discord when there was like I can't remember, was it Vince or someone talking about running a game for the first time, the AD&D game for the first time, and saying, and I said, just roll up the 18 surrounding hexes in the initial town and see what comes up and do it and that. And he's like, but I can't do that. There's only 48 hours to go. And I thought, what? That's plenty of time. I could do like 100 hexes in 48 hours.
Yeah.
But I guess it's a number one mindset. You've got to be used to that kind of mindset, and also you've got to be used to that process as well. After you've done it a bunch of times, you get used to that. I remember there was one game convention where one of the game masters had pulled out, just disappeared at the last moment, and I wasn't doing anything. So the convention master Tony came up to me and said, "Hey," and he handed me this set of rules of some game or other, which I don't even remember what it was. And he said, "You're going to run this for these guys." I had like 15 minutes notice to glance through the rules and come up with a scenario for them. And I did something, and honest to God, I can't remember what the hell it was, but I did something or other, and the guys had fun. And as a result, I got a trophy. Best and fairest, as they put it, like most valuable players. Said that you weren't the best game master, said Tony, but you're the best and fairest because you just gave it a go, I remember about 45 minutes into the game session, one of the players was trying to argue with me about the rules. And I said, "Oh, have you run this game before?" And he said, "No, I've never seen it before." And I said, "Well, then I know as much as you. Don't argue." I said, "Come on, guys, give me a go here. Give me some slack here." So I think it's a kind of a mindset thing to be able to just sit down and just go with it. And other people will need or want more preparation, and that's fair enough.
Indeed. And I feel like there's I am of the mindset, and this is what I'm. Oh, you guys, sorry about that. Didn't mean to have the screen in the middle there. I am of the mindset that you get the most beauty, the most excitement, you extract the best experience out of D1 by carefully building everything. I mean, I am all about, let's just make some shit up as we go. I mean, Kyle and I are a couple of make shit up as we go kind of dudes. I mean, I think if my Monday night group, I don't think any of them are in the audience, but if my Monday night group knew how many chunks of the campaign were literally just me going, as you're riding from Valuna to Greyhawk City, you see there looming in the mist a crudely constructed stockade. Looks like there's gnolls manning it. I just do that. But then there's other times when it's like, okay, if they follow this track of hexes, I've got these exact encounters plotted out. I mean, sometimes I do it meticulously.
Well,
sometimes I don't.
I mean, that's what Wandering Monsters are for. I reckon it's there in part to buy the GM time to come up with the next proper encounter. Like, do you know if Gary read any Raymond Chandler?
Oh, almost certainly. Almost certainly.
Because I believe Chandler's saying was, when I got stuck in a story, I just had a guy walk in a room with a gun.
Yeah.
And why? I don't know. What happens after that? I don't know. But something will happen, and the story will get moving. And so Wandering Monster is the equivalent of a guy walking in the room with a gun.
Exactly so.
Okay, go on with the module. I've interrupted enough. Go on.
No, that's fine. That's fine. But to get back to this, we come really to kind of the penultimate encounter. That there are more than just 6 fixed encounters. I was perhaps a little hasty in saying, well, there's only 6 encounters, but because we were talking last night about the Lich Asperdes the First and his 20th level spell casting capability with, a stack of spells he's got ready to throw at people who come in. I'm just going to jump to the end just for Kyle's edification, because again, I think you said you hadn't seen this before. The 2 top tier spells he can throw at a party are Power Word Kill, which is dangerous enough, but he can also cast Time Stop. This guy's a monster. But there are random side encounters aplenty that can crop up. But only if the players really want to stray. But the fun in this module and the prep in this module is managing all of those potential encounters along the way. A party can skip straight down the tunnels over the course of a few multi-hour sessions. But really, 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 the module is best, in my opinion. Again, I don't, you as a DM may feel differently. You as a player may feel differently. But the module is best when the players come into it with all of these potential side quests. You can spend as oh, that's right, I forgot Paul is in my Monday night group. You can spend months exploring the hex map in this module. I mean, look at this, Kyle. Let me show this to you. Zip up here a little bit. You talk about hexes. You talk about a hex crawl. Mm-hmm. Look at all that potential, Kyle.
Well, how big are the hexes?
The hexes are a mile across.
No, standard then.
So there's all of this.
So a starting campaign would fit, because remember, starting campaign's only 5 hexes across.
Mm-hmm.
In what we've done in the hex crawl thing, where we do the initial town, the 6 hexes around it, and the 12 hexes around them. So it's only 5 hexes across. So if you guys look at the map of 5 hexes across, that's, and those who saw those hex crawl episodes, you generate quite a lot. Basically, every second hex ends up with something in it, a significant monster. There's some less significant ones like snakes or something like that, but a fairly significant monster and some treasure and so on. So, that is a big map with the potential for a lot of adventure.
Oh yeah, and I mean that. Even just presuming, because the Black Den hexes here are the set piece encounters. But I mean, look at the tunnel potentialities. Your party, with the exception of this one in the lower right hand corner, which is essentially where they start, your party could go through the rest of this entire map, literally just having random encounters, never hitting these until they reach the very end. And then over here in the upper right hand corner, you've got an underground sea. Waters of the Sunless Sea, Islands of the Sunless Sea. Mm-hmm. You got primary passage, secondaries, tertiary, secret tertiary, underground rivers.
Well, I think sometimes having a map view makes us forget just how much there can be in a small space. Like this morning, I walked my kids to school, and it's 3.5 kilometers. And then I came back and I did the shopping along the way. So essentially, that's 2 hexes, which I did not explore completely this morning. And there's a park down the road, another park over there, and it's all within effectively 2 hexes or 1 mile hexes. And
you didn't enter any monster layers and try to acquire treasure? What's wrong with you?
Well, I mean, there's some monsters. There's police up the road, but apart from that, but they're a bit high level for me.
Right.
But like I came across a web page of bird watchers or something. I don't know anything about birds, but I came across this web page, and just in the park near our home, people had recorded 28 different species of birds.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're a person who cares about birds and plants and everything, you didn't really enjoy the local park because there's all those different ones. But obviously, it would be really boring to play a D&D campaign like that. You know, oh, you're all rangers and you're cataloguing the different species around. But the equivalent in D&D of this area is, you know, having a bunch of different monsters in it, and the wandering monsters, and there's a little patch of forest and so on. So there could be quite a lot of content in. When you look at the map, it looks like a small area, but when you're wandering around exploring it, and you start to understand why it takes a long time to cross terrain and so on, if you're walking across it and you're trying to explore, you know, like if there actually were a dungeon entrance somewhere around here, even in the local parks, it would take ages to find the bloody thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because most people don't observe particularly well. You know, I've taken people for a walk in a local park, and the third or the fourth time they go, oh, you know, there's a big sewer entrance. There's one. I'm sure there's some urban explorers that have gone down the damn thing. Yeah, because it's, you know, 4 or 5 feet high or something and wide, so you could, and there's not usually a lot of water going through it, so you could easily go up and down it.
Right.
And you know, they might be at the park several times before they even notice that, even though there's a sort of a circular path that goes above it, and it goes, you know, it has to go above it in order for there to be the pike there. You know, but people just don't notice. So it'd take a fair while to explore and go through all that. So I think once you kind of take that analogy to life, you start to realize just how much adventure can be in a quite small space, which is good because it means that the adventurers don't have to spend so much time eating iron rations.
Right.
You know, they don't have to carry 30 days of iron rations to cross an entire continent to get an adventure, you know. It could be quite
I've mentioned before here in my hex, I've got legitimate D&D monsters, you know, alligators, brown bear, coyotes, things with actual real hit dice that can take my my commoner level ass out. So I'd be careful.
Around here, we just got foxes and things, and and well, I mean, there's poisonous animals, there's spiders, and I'm sure there's snakes and stuff somewhere. I've never seen one though. I'm sure they're around.
Yeah.
But yeah, there could be a lot in a small area. You don't always have to do the Lord of the Rings style, cross the mountains and
right.
Away in the epic journey.
But that, I think, ties into this. I mean, this could be potentially months and months in game, months and months of adventure and moving up and down passages. Again, remembering each of these hexes is a mile across, and where the paths go through indicate tunnels that could be anywhere from just a few feet wide to multi-hundreds of yards wide. And all the potential random encounters and the slow travel. If you guys remember when I was talking about the travel through these areas is slow. Your party's not sprinting down these halls. This could be an epic dungeon crawl. And I think it takes, if you as a DM look at this and you're like, okay, the point is to get the party to here, this troglodyte area, so we can get over into D2. I'm not going to worry about this. I'm not going to worry about this. I'm definitely not going to worry about this. You can be done with this in a few sessions. But if you really want to put your wizard hat on, if you really want to get your full Gandalf going, and your players say, hey, we're going down this little bit of hallway over here, and they wind up someplace over here, by the end of a few sessions, do yourself and them a favor and completely flesh that out. Whether you do it on the spot or whether you do it beforehand, I recommend doing it beforehand in this case. Again, just to go back to 1 to 100 gems, a base 50 value each if the party bumps into a Drow merchant caravan out there and decides to loot them. That's a lot of mathing to do at the table. I think you can really, really, really have a lot of fun. And if you're going to do that, if you're going to go the completely fleshed out route for this module, you have a lot of work to do, and how much enjoyment the players get out of this will be wholly incumbent on how much work you, the DM, are going to put into it. So that is my hot take, as it were, on D1 Descent into the Depths. And you guys are gonna see more when we get over. And again, we will start out. We will go back to the thing we're doing here with the PDF. But when we get into D2 here, I'm gonna unshare. Sharing too much. When we get into D2 Descent into the Shrine of the Kutoa, which is a challenge in its own, because it doesn't just have portions like this. It's got a massive temple raid and dungeon crawl portion. So you guys are going to find that it is a lot of work also for the DM, but it is a lot of work on the spot.
Luther has a comment. I don't agree with him, but I think it's a legitimate comment. It's saying you're letting nostalgia get in the way of a truthful critique. It's thin. Any DM worth a dang could make this from scratch themselves. I'll respond first. I think it's wrong because you're viewing it's a fixed versus growth mindset thing. You're forgetting leveling up. Every DM starts as a 0 level commoner as a DM, not knowing what the hell they're doing, and has to learn how to do things. So I think it is worth having a variety. I don't use modules at all, and I barely ever had, but I had the benefit growing up of having a good English teacher, learning to read before I started school and so on, and being a naturally talkative person. So I was already good at just talking random shit. So this prepared me to be a game master. Not everyone has that background. Some people have to develop the skills. And so I think there can be a leveling up process, just as players can learn to play. Like it says in the player's handbook, I think there's an implicit concept there that because remember it says the player shouldn't be looking at the Dungeon Master's guide. That will take some of the sense of wonder. There's the idea that as the player, as the character levels up, the player learns more about how the game world works, about how the rules work and all the rest. So it's part of the growth of the player. I think it's a similar thing for the Dungeon Master, in that they start off with something pretty well structured and run the players through it so that the Dungeon Master can get comfortable with the rules. Because you've got the rules and you've got the scenario that you've got to come up with. If I only have to think about if I've got the scenario all read and dealt with, then I only have to think about the rules, and I can learn the rules and figure out and remember where's that chart again and so on, and figure that out. And then once I've mastered the rules and I'm comfortable with those, I can then go on to dealing with the scenario stuff and build from there and build my skills as a game master. So I think you're being a bit harsh on the module. Now, the module writers may or may not have had that intention, but I don't think that matters. I'm a big believer that the intention of the writer doesn't matter. I don't care that Phil Barker wrote an anti-Semitic book or whatever. Tecumseh stands or falls on its merits alone, without regard to what else he wrote. I don't care if he beat his wife or what the hell he did. It doesn't matter. The Tecumseh stands or falls on its own merits. Likewise, this module may or may not have been intended to help teach a newbie GM or to an intermediate GM, but I don't think it matters because it can fulfill that task anyway. You start with everything super structured, and then you build up, and over time you get better at improvising if you choose to. So I think it's a legitimate comment that you made, but I still think it's wrong. Bill?
Well, I think, first of all, Luther, let me just say unequivocally, I think it's a legitimate criticism you're making. All right. I'm not arguing that your criticism isn't legitimate. If you were just sitting there saying it sucks, well, and not giving anything else, that wouldn't be a legitimate criticism. You're making a legitimate criticism. So I'm not arguing about the legitimacy of your criticism or not. I don't agree with you on your criticism. For many of the same reasons that Kyle points out. I think the pack-in, for lack of a better terms, the super module maybe would be a better term, that is D1 and 2, might be a better approach in this circumstance. But I still feel like this framework approach, I mean, I like this framework approach. All right. I like to have my skills challenged, my abilities sharpened and honed by going through this, and no run through it because of the kit form that it is ever going to be the same. Kyle might take this module and do completely different things with it than I would do, or you would do, Luther. I feel like there's so much great opportunity for variation here that it really creates a garden of flexibility where every DM can bloom and be as explorative and creative as they want to. Now you take this against say a Dragonlance module, or even, you know what, let's just let's stop beating up on Dragonlance, okay? It's mashed potatoes at this point. Against the Cult of the Reptile God is a huge railroad module, particularly the end game. And there's really only one way to do it with characters of the same level, unless you're a sadistic DM and you just want to sit back and enjoy watching them get obliterated by a fireball spell. But by the same token, they then have to have, it is incumbent that they have an NPC against them, or an NPC with them, rather, who's cast a Globe of Minor Invulnerability for that fireball situation. Because there's a spirit Naga lurking in the shadows as part of the final encounter.
Luther follows up with, I disagree with you for it's 9th to 12th level. GMs should have their crap together by then. A training module should have appeared much earlier. But remember what we were saying. You could start at one end of the map, go through, populate each hex on the way before you reach the actual module part. You might start at first level at one end of the map and not reach high level until you're there. The other aspect is it's actually, let's be honest, pretty friggin' rare for people to reach 9th level in AD&D. It takes ages. You almost certainly get killed along the way. So usually if you see high level characters, it's because somebody rolled up a high level character. They just, let's be honest, it's fucking rare, really, to go from 1st to 9th level and do those Lord level, you know, let's be honest. Come on. Yeah, unless you've got a soft DM. And then if you've got a soft DM, then, you know, that's a whole different thing. Well, it doesn't happen much. But if it does, well, you could start at first level at one end of the map and end up at 9th level at the other end of the map. and then you're ready for it. And the game master will have learned.
Luther's just, well, damn it, Bill, if I had to make so much of it myself, my name needs to be there on the... I did, grab a magic marker, dude.
Yeah. It's like I was told early in my training career. What do you have to do to call yourself a personal trainer? Buy a T-shirt that says "personal trainer," because it's not like medical doctor or lawyer or something that it's a protected thing. Anyone can call themselves a personal trainer. Anyone can call themselves the author of that book. Grab a magic marker, write your name on the book. There you go, Lou the Pendragon, co-author of the module. This version 29.1176.
I am reminded of this great scene in a classic Star Trek episode, Whom Gods Destroy, where Kirk is dealing with a Starfleet captain who lost his mind and tried to genocide some races, and he's in an asylum for the criminally insane, and there's also this woman, this Orion girl, and she rattles off this bit of a sonnet to Kirk and says, "Do you like that? I wrote it this morning." And the insane starship captain yells at her, "Lies! You did not write that. That was written over 500 years ago by an Earth human named Shakespeare." And she retorts back. She goes, "Which does not detract from the fact that I wrote it this morning."
I'm getting shades
Gary was so.
I'm getting shades of Christopher Plummer here.
Yeah.
Our revels now are ended.
Garth, yes. It was Garth of Izar. Thank you, Jack. I knew you'd pop in and know that. We're just in trouble with Luther. I think is what's happened here. Was we're on Luther's shit list now. If Gary was still with us, I would be calling him right now, and you'd be right too. We've but no, I mean
This is one of the things I love about the hobby. Righteous nerd fury is just my favorite thing. The actually guy and all the rest. I love it. I love it.
I just, I think there's, there's ample room. And D1, the Wandering Monster table needs to be co-author too. Okay. All right. You guys are just going to break out your highlights. Maybe that's what happened with this used copy of D1 that I bought, because it's got whoever owned this copy before me, and I've shown this before. The canyon pieces are colored and highlighted. So maybe somebody did that, Luther. Maybe somebody came in here and just decided, well, I'm not going to let Gygax dictate to me. I'm going to color code my dungeon. Ha ha ha. So Luther, there you go. History may prove you out.
Whenever I buy a secondhand copy of Player's Handbook or something, I'll always find like the damage of the short sword has been changed or something like that. Somebody's penciled it in. Somebody's done their own thing. Yes, Righteous Nerd Fury does sound like a D&D spell.
I think it sounds like an album title that Bards of Greyhawk should put out.
I'd buy that album.
I would buy that album. I already have some Bards of Greyhawk music. You hear it with the intro.
It sounds
Righteous Nerd Fury.
I told you we needed a more metal intro for when I'm on.
So Bards of Greyhawk, get working on a metal opening track for the show called Righteous Nerd Fury, or at least put it on an album called Righteous Nerd Fury.
Yeah, like that. That meme image of the progressive woman. I don't know. For all I know, she's a conservative, but where she's like, she's wearing a beanie and she's
yeah.
We need the equivalent of some nerd, like a skinny guy with a lightsaber or something. Or, Star Trek.
Well,
shaking his fist. Ah!
All nerd fury is
maybe,
righteous.
Maybe the Kirk. Gone.
Yeah.
Righteous nerd fury.
It says all nerd fury is righteous. I love it. I absolutely love it. But contemplate this on the Tree of Woe, because we are coming up on the top of the hour, just a little bit, when we will bring some people. Now, Kyle, I've got you here at the table. You up for a little co-GMing tonight, my friend?
Co-GMing?
Yeah, it's live stream.
What are you guys doing?
We're playing first edition, buddy.
Well, I can't co-GM. There can only be one.
Well, before we get there, I do want to take a minute. Lord Corion's already shaking in his seat. I do want to take a minute, though, and I want to thank, we do have some contributors around here who help literally keep the lights on, and I cannot thank them enough. So I'm going to take a hot minute before we get into a cool D&D game and give a big shout out thanks to Joshua Garlock, Lord Corion, Ricky Maru, Mobius, Kevin Reynolds, Doomsword Deathmaster, Mark Simpson, Damien247, James F. Keck. We love you guys out there at the observatory. Keep that data coming in. William Smith, the Dungeon Minister. Sit you down, Father. Bless you. Manny Wall, Mark Corey, Kevin Wood, Todd Sharp, the terrifyingly named Carnivore Farmer, the Rob, I can't say that, I'll get demonetized, Jeremy Rule, we'll miss you, buddy, Boganora, Mikey Mank, and Sky Hernstrom, who, by the way, will be in the house on Thursday. That's right. Sky Hernstrom will be here this Thursday. You've been warned. Oh, and please don't be concerned when I said we'll miss you to Jeremy. I just mean he is in our Monday night game, and some life matters, a change in perspective is calling him away, but he still supports the show, so he still stays in the crawl. So thank you to those people. Your help is always appreciated. And as I say, we love you all, regardless of whether, you're a patron, you're a subscribe star, or you're just out there. If you're just stopping by, if you're just now like, hey, what's this thing YouTube is notifying me of? And you like what you see? Click that subscribe button. Click that bell icon for notification. Give us a thumbs up. If you are like, say, Luther Pendragon, and you vehemently disagree with what we do, you know what to do. That's fine.
Report us to YouTube.
No. I'm on thin ice with the YouTube people, Kyle.
Are you? What have you done?
No, I'm just kidding. I said a dirty word in one of my streams and they won't monetize it. And I honestly forgot about saying it. So I was like, why are they doing this? And I thought it was the Twilight 2000 Let's Play, and I thought it was because like the box has pictures of firearms on the cover, or maybe the bots were hearing me say Russians in tank and explosion and assuming that I was spreading war misinformation. No, it just turns out I said the C word during the stream. So
what, conservatism?
Kyle! Come on, man. You're going to get me kicked off. But anyway, Luther asks if I'm trying to start a fight. Not me, man. I'm a lover, not a fighter. But anyway, so let's go ahead and welcome our... Cookie. Let's go ahead and welcome our first edition players tonight. We have Doomsword, Mark. I'm just going to say Mr. Kyle because I ain't going to get your first name right. We have James, and of course, there we go. Greetings, good evening, all. So Kyle will be grading me on my DMing skills tonight. So let's all.
Character.
Excellent.
You're rolling up a character. You're going to join in tonight. That's excellent.
I
Awesome.
just did. I went to Dragon's Foot, their 1E character generator. 3 dice down the line. I got Strength 9, Intelligence 9, Wisdom 8, Dex 12, Con 13, and Charisma 12.
Hey,
And,
join Sir Average.
He's a first level fighter with his 8 hit points.
Join Sir Average.
Hey, that works. We just lost 2 people last night.
He's great for hit points. My 3rd level fighter only has 13. Damn it! So
All right, somebody tell Kyle what equipment your men-at-arms have. Kyle, you are now playing one of the men-at-arms who is just a slight cut above average.
Oh, I was just going to call him Replacement.
Replacement.
What were your men-at-arms names at this point? Where are you on? Because you're doing them alphabetically. So where are you at?
So he'd have a D name, like David.
Deplacement.
Yeah,
Domino.
Deployment.
Banded mail, wooden shield, javelins, short sword. That's what I meant to say.
There's a spare
Yeah,
spear
I might
lying
write this
around
down.
too if you need it.
Okay, so the party had left the dungeons of Castle Greyhawk, and you find yourselves now in possession of a scorpion. It is heavy. It is bulky. You will not be easily wielding it in the dungeon. Let me just say that for those of you who are like, "Hey, we can take this with us and use these in the dungeon halls." Not so much.
I was going to reenact that scene from Predator.
I still vote that we leave it on the cart. Or
No, yeah,
at
it's going on the cart. It's the land battleship now.
or at the very least, we like point it down at the hole, just as like as just an emergency thing.
Just string a few trip lines along and wire them to the release handle. Anything comes climbing up, it gets a spear in the face.
More so, like if we need to fire something like as we're retreating, so that somebody can like cover the party.
Hey, we could attach a rope and go explore a tower.
You first. We'll send deplacement in.
Replacement. Got my name right.
They'll remember your name when you level up a couple of times.
I
Well,
like the idea that we thought your name started with a D this whole time.
I mean, nobody aim until they survive their first combat encounter anyway.
I'm thinking this is more like the temp agency I work with, to get hirelings. Like it's like, oh, I'll send you an extra. You've worked with us for so long, you get an extra hireling with your 3rd purchase.
Buy what is it? What is it at this point? Buy 5, get 1 free.
Yeah.
You bought a
Yeah,
warranty on one of them.
You get a price break at
Banded mail and shield, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a spare spear lying around if you want it.
Okay. Oh, cool. AC3. That's pretty good for a first level guy.
Mhm.
And a spear.
Short swords.
And I can give you, yeah, we also have a hand axe or a dagger too if you need any of that, or javelins.
Well, save the hand axe. We might have to bust down another door.
But that's why I have them.
Good.
All right, so you were you heading back to the cabin to rest up? Are you going back to the city of Greyhawk? What are you doing?
I know we're going back. I don't know if we decided for sure if we're going back to the city or not, because I don't think we have enough treasure to go back.
I don't
Let's
think it's
just
worth going
rest
back to
here.
the city.
Yeah,
Let's
we
just do that.
need to rest up a bit and get some healing going on.
Yeah.
So what do we think? 2 days of rest. Let's see where the cleric puts us.
Who all's hurt besides myself? How bad off are you guys?
I'm at 6.
At
I'm at 5 out of 13.
5 out of 30. Yeah, you need some. Okay. Let's see. I don't think the Beavis took any damage. Valoric, I think, took a hit. Yeah, he's down too. We need some healing, so I've got 4 each.
Yeah, I think one of my followers. Both of my followers are they were in single digits to begin with, but one's at 1 and one's at 2.
Ooh.
So
Okay.
And I'm at 5.
You're at 5 out of how many?
17, so I got 12 left. I need 12.
Okay. Let's see. Sir Average, the first round you get 6.
excellent. Can I get one more like that?
Maybe the next round.
Okay.
Let's see. Mark, you get 1 on that round.
God says, suck it up.
Didn't he start with like 2?
Yeah.
Let's see, and our illustrious fellow Corian here gets 7.
Woohoo!
Woo! Sorry, Mark. I'm sorry.
Your god does not like my character.
No, but I gained 2, so that's the first
He doesn't
round.
like you either.
Nope. So I guess on the next after 4 hours of rest, how long do we want to stay? Just say 2 and we're healed. 2 more days and we're healed, or what?
Yeah. Worst comes to worst, my followers can stay behind, so we have a spare.
Yeah, let's get fully healed and everything.
Okay. Is that okay with you, Bill? Just say we're healed up after 2 days.
Yes.
Okay.
Excellent. Including followers or no?
Some of your followers, if you remember, were unconscious.
Yeah.
So
I had 1 at 1 and 1 at 2, and Genan's other follower, I think, was unconscious, and 2 of his were dead.
Yeah, no. Alice was up at 5 hit points. She was doing fine, but two of my hirelings are dead, and Gina needs to go back to at least get their corpses to give them proper burial. They served well.
We'll go back.
If they haven't already been eaten.
Yeah, don't say that in front of Gina. He doesn't want to hear it.
Hopefully they've been eaten up.
and they'll serve well with fava beans now.
Hey, remember, if it's a truncated corpse, the hole is just that much smaller and it's that much less work.
Okay, so adventurers, a couple of days pass, but while you're resting, while you're resting on the first day, you hear something large lumbering around outside. Stomp, 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 stomp. Snorting, maybe it sounds a bit like a bull, or you're not 100% sure exactly what that is.
Is
Boy,
the stomping
replacement,
coming?
go out and look.
Can we see anything out of the window?
I go and peer cautiously outside. What are we? Where are we, in an inn or something? Sorry.
No, this is actually there's a longhouse of some design that is about a quarter mile away from Castle Greyhawk, that appears to have been built by adventurers, other adventurers. It's in fairly good, fairly good shape, but
all right. So I open the door to look outside to see if there's Grendel out there or
okay. Give me a moment.
something large moving outside a longhouse. I mean, what else is it going to be?
Exactly.
I have to tear his arm off with my strength 9.
Good luck. I have faith in you. Not a lot, but I have faith.
Never give up, never surrender. Just a moment. I want to make sure that I have this. There we go. So what you see when you immediately open the door in front of you is a greenish, grayish, sort of flabby, loathsome-looking hippopotamus-like body, but its tail extends that way a great deal, and its neck extends that way a great deal. You're not surprised, and it doesn't seem terribly surprised, and it is sort of turning to look at you. Roll for initiative, Kyle.
We knew you well.
Where are we?
That's a catableepus. I don't know what
yeah,
that shit is.
We really knew you well.
You're dead, Jim.
All right.
Initiative 1.
Well, it only let's see.
We gave him.
You do not meet its gaze, but it is thrashing its tail at you. Your armor class is 3, yes?
Yeah.
All right. So that is hop over to the right page here. So the good luck
Minister
is
apparently had a prom date whose gaze could turn him to stone.
oh, you won't get turned to stone. All right, so this thing lashes its tail at you and hits. But it only smacks you for a couple points of damage. Does it stun you?
Stun. What is this? Rollmaster? Stun no parry?
Strike to stun. It does not. What do you wish to do?
Close the door and put the bar back.
All right. So you hear a loud, meaty thump, and Displacement staggers back and slams the bar back down in the door.
There's a basement you can explore next if you want.
What'd you see out there, Replacement?
Well, I'll come back and I describe what I saw. It's a big slithering green thing and swung at me with its tail and blah blah blah. I describe it in as much detail as I can.
Sounds
Yeah, it's a catoblepus.
I vote.
It looks to me like a monster that doesn't have any treasure.
That's an important note.
Therefore, we have no interest in it.
Getting a full share for some reason.
Did it seem interested in us?
It seemed interested in me.
Genin backs away from the replacement.
It just, it reached out to touch me, obviously with some affection, because it was only a bit of, it was just a little love tap, really.
Are you a
Half your
cleric?
torso is a big bruise.
Yeah. So,
Are you a cleric?
Yeah. No, I don't need a clerk. I'm fine.
Well, no, he had to reach out and touch Faith.
Yeah. I think we should just go back to sleep. He's not going to bash in the door or anything.
The walls do shudder. It does thrash the place with its tail a couple of times, but other than a little bit of dust, maybe some of the mud packing between the logs and everything getting knocked loose, it doesn't manage to break in. And you later hear its ponderous footsteps as it lumbers away in search of easier prey.
This is the second time we've almost gotten eaten by wildlife.
Or at least he's not a troll this time.
Well, that's This is the third time we've almost gotten eaten by wildlife.
Now, trolls are intelligent monsters. They're not mere beasts.
Hey, Vince, he has done that to me before, man. You go back and watch our game. He has killed the co-host before. Bill has no mercy. He's a proper old school GM, and that's as it should be.
Amen.
Strike first, strike hard, no mercy. Like that. And Karate Kid.
Okay, so your the rest of your time passes uneventfully, and those of you that need to heal up, and this is a comfortable place. It is warm and dry. You guys said you were resting 2 days, correct?
Yes.
Sounds right.
Well, there you go, Kyle. Displacement can heal up
Excellent.
and get your 2 hit points back. If the Catoblepus had any interest beyond, bothering you that one time, it does not. It does not trouble you again, shall we say?
If it had treasure, we'd be able to track it, because a thing that large is going to leave a lot of tracks, and we'd be able to follow it back to its lair. But
Oh yeah.
what's it going to have? It's just this wild.
I mean, you can crawl inside and find out, but I'm not going to.
Yeah, it might have treasure from eating adventurers or something. But
I
You may as
mean,
well follow it anyway.
the days pass, the rest of them uneventfully. There are massive footprints in the ground when you come out. Where you going? What you doing now, adventurers?
I want some revenge on some orcs.
Jin wants the same.
Question. When we are
Yes.
here at the Longhouse, are there any spare boards, planks, or ladders?
Actually, there are not. No. If this place was manually constructed, whoever constructed it took the means of construction, any scrap, any parts not used for building it, they took that with them when they left.
well, they probably burned it when they were keeping themselves, or subsequent generations of adventurers burned wood. We wouldn't.
What's
We,
your
if they were
plan?
flying around, we
I made a comment last session. I think it was in our chat about wanting to get my hands on like a 6x6 or a ladder for that stupid pit trap. And just throw a plank down so we can run across it.
Well, we can lash a couple trees together or whatnot.
There's still some rubble in the old, the ruined stables and the zombie house.
Yeah,
Big
but
friend. Sorry, wrong rebel.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
plenty of rubble in the basement.
Yeah. Do you? But
Yeah,
would
we're
you
not going to
trust
the basement.
Would you trust one of those boards though? I wouldn't. You know what I
I
mean?
may not either, but
Yeah.
got them.
Yeah.
Are there any
Um,
forest or woods nearby?
We could probably get some. We could probably get some trees.
Yeah.
Yes,
Chop down some
the
trees. I got some rope.
the area where the longhouse it is in a tamarack stand located in the fens near Castle Greyhawk. So it's actually up on a little bit of dry ground, and there are trees around if you want to fell any more, what have you.
Can I just lash a couple of 4-inch or so thick ones together?
Make a little bridge.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just about 10 inches wide, 10 feet, 11 feet, 12 feet long, 12 feet long.
Sure. Somebody get that, please.
Sorry, that's mine.
That's okay. Alrighty. So you have your improvised breaching engineering equipment. Pioneer equipment, that's it. Pioneer tools. You have your
Yeah.
Pioneer tools, and you can
Ideally,
now...
we want a big lot, like a big chunk of metal on it, so we can batter down doors and stuff too. You know?
Oh, it's,
That's the second
gonna s-
generation.
I was gonna
This
say
is how
we could
we
also use
give-
the manlet.
This is how we
Little,
give skill headaches.
Well, that's the sec- I'm pretty sure. I mean, hell, if one of you wants to bring a just while I'm lashing all this together, if one of you wants to get a log about yay big around, and we can take and stick a pot on the end of it and call it good. But no, I'm ready to go in. How about you?
Yeah, come on, replacement. Let's go get a battering ram too.
Are we leaving any of our hirelings behind?
Do we want to leave Bill and Nerm? I think we should leave Leo and Nerm.
Do it. So I'll take Alice and Carlos, my two, and we have displacement, our temp.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
He's the intern. That's it. He's the intern.
The intern does all the shit work. I'll fetch the coffee. What level are you guys out of curiosity?
Third.
I'm sorry. Oh, good.
I am 3.
Yep.
Same.
Okay. That's not too great a disparity. I thought you'd be like 5th or something by now.
We had too
If
many.
the
hirelings.
orcs hold still.
Yeah, right. If it wasn't for that damn
If
pit
they
trap,
have treasure.
Actually, that's our current problem. Is we're running into the lack of funds, not the lack of enemies.
Mm-hmm.
Those orcs, we still haven't got down to their bosses, so they probably are holding all the cash.
yeah.
But we've got a solution to the pit trap. We have solved their artillery problem by taking it.
That was a moral victory.
Yeah.
You guys were just one brave Ukrainian tractor driver short of meaning that one to death.
We know to be careful with traps. We know not to touch any strange meat. Right, Links?
Burn everything. Yeah, we still have oil, guys. Right? We have to go back if we don't have oil.
You got to.
I literally burned all of mine, burning down their front door so they can stop trapping it and closing it in their face.
But I'm ready to go back and take some revenge on the orcs for my hirelings that they killed.
Yeah.
Alrighty. The journey back to Castle Greyhawk, and it's despite its decrepit state, it is still an imposing ruin. You find yourselves back once again. Cold, blustery day. Did you guys go in the morning, or did you
Presumably.
pick any particular time? All right, fair enough. Who is climbing down first, please?
I'll go first.
Okay.
I'm going to take displacement by the shoulder and just pull him back and go down first. Sorry.
We send the dwarf first.
All right.
Replacement is my name. Replacement, damn it.
Well, I'm going to displace you.
Okay.
Disembowelment, get
I'm a
over here.
replacement beast.
Average, as you
Yeah, well-
begin to climb down, you have some company. You're kind of startled because you're scooting down and there's something scooting up you.
Ooh.
To your horror, you have giant centipedes crawling all over you. They were apparently coming up the chain that you were going down.
I'm AC3.
No, I understand. You're AC3. They get a little bit of surprise on you as you're kind of hanging there. You know, you've got centipedes crawling up you. And they are trying to...
Every bug, man, every bug ignores armor. Haven't you seen all those sci-fi movies where there's a guy in a space suit
Those
going,
are the
"It's
itty-bitty
crawling
ones, though.
inside!"
Those are the itty bitty ones.
I'm
These guys are
taking
like
armor.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Bugs ignore armor. You
All right, so they
your plate.
had their 2 rounds of surprise. You are certainly surprised. What do you wish to do, Aberrage? You're about 20 feet off the floor right now. About 10 feet down, about 20 feet off the floor.
How many are on me?
5.
Okay. So you said 20 feet off the ground?
Yes.
That's 2d6 fall damage?
That is.
Wonder how many I could crush if I just belly flopped.
I was gonna make a Dale Gribble joke of crushing all the bugs.
I mean, it's either that or I just start grabbing and crushing them in my bare hands because
We could shoot one with the scorpion, right?
Crush
Yeah,
centipede. See them squashed all over you, and hear the lamentation of the guy at the bottom of the pit.
yeah.
There you go. Damien says they could. I'll expand on that. You guys could pour oil down the chain,
Light it on fire.
stick a torch to it.
Yeah. No. I think I'll just slide down and start literally squishing bugs. I have stupid strength, so I can just.
Okay, so you are not dropping off the chain. You are sliding down the chain, right?
Yes. If I can happen to catch one under my boot as I land, excellent. But otherwise, no, I'm just going to slide down and try and squish some bugs. And start saying something to the effect of, "Get them off me, you lazy bums."
Let's go ahead and roll initiative to see if they're going to get a little nibble before.
That's a 5.
Roll a 5.
That is a tie, so you're sliding and they're biting. Your armor class 3, correct?
Yep.
Okay. And if you don't know by now, then you'll never know me again. I can still hear you saying you would never bug the chain. All right. With apologies to Fleetwood Mac.
Thankfully, my save versus poison is pretty good.
It is pretty good, and it's not a given that that this is even a hit because they are. But it is. It is. You take a point of damage and give me a saving throw versus poison, please.
Tips on his gloves.
16 is above a 13, so I succeed.
That's amply, yeah. It just burns like fire when it gets its little mandibles in there, and the rest of them miss, and you are now down on the floor. The dwarf is screaming, "Get them off me! Get them off me!" You're not sure what that's all about.
Dismember.
Go ahead and make your attacks.
Does a 13 hit?
Yes.
Okay. I have a +6 damage, so will that crush one on its own?
Yes, that will utterly annihilate one. These are armor class 9. You almost literally can't miss them.
Yeah, so just dead bug.
And they are sub 1 hit die. You are third level.
That's right. Yeah, so I can attack what?
A number equal to your level.
A 3?
Yes.
All right, dead bug.
Okay. Yeah, basically don't roll don't roll below an 8. So there are 2 left. The rest of you hear the dwarf, not to put words in your character's mouth, but go and slide down, and now he's screaming, get them off, and you hear stomping and slapping. Let's go around the table. Kyle, what is displacement doing?
Replacement. Displacement isn't a thing because he doesn't exist. Replacement is sliding down the rope with a lit torch.
Okay. All right. What is Turgo doing, Doomsword?
I'm going to do the same. I'll follow him down.
All right. Mark, how about Genin?
Genin and his hirelings are heading on down.
Okay. Well, let me just ask this. Is anyone not moving down the rope? Okay. All right. Well, you're down there, so roll initiative for Average.
Okay, so average is rolling. That is a 6.
That is a tie, but their mandibles go first, but they also don't hit you, so don't roll a 7.
Dead bug, and that's it. Right?
Okay, that's it. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the end of them. You soloed those those giant centipedes are actually worth more, I think, than kobolds.
That wouldn't surprise me.
In terms of XP because of their poison ability.
Everything is worth more than kobolds.
A moment or two later, I think rock grubs are not, but I could also be wrong about that.
They should be. They should be.
You all reach the bottom there, and I'm going to let's see if I got the camera at a good angle. I know I'll have to turn the lights here. Y'all bear with me a second. I don't quite have the automatic studio controls, so I can just slide little adjustment bars and push buttons to move things around yet. That's next month's Patreon.
So what's the marching order for today? I have the improvised gangway. We can walk 2 abreast. So who wants to be stuck next to me? Cool. I'll take displacement. And Jeanin, you up with me as well?
Yeah.
Okay, so displacement, me, Jeanin. I'll drop the gangway. You guys can file through, I guess. And sound like a plan? Everybody else following?
Well,
Yeah.
I want to I need to find out. Is there a new door? Let's.
Yeah.
Let's
I'm
wait
getting
for
a
that
general sense.
Yeah.
Targo might want to scout ahead. You know, there's a lot of questions in the air.
Do whatever it is that thieves do.
They
No.
Okay. I hope everyone can aptly see the tabletop. I know it's not the best Zoom in the world, but we do as we can.
How many times do I have to tell you, Bill? I can't see a thing.
I understand that. I actually, I'll say this in all seriousness. I had a friend who won a contest I ran way back on my website years ago, and he was fully blind due to an automobile accident, and he won a writing contest that I held, which Dwarven Forge sponsored, and got like 3 sets. This was in the resin Dwarven Forge days, the bulk of what I have. And he said it was like the greatest thing in the world for his gaming. Even though he couldn't see it, he could feel it. And it made things so much better and more fun for him as a DM.
His name wasn't Brian, was it?
No, sir, it was not. It was not.
I knew a guy that was blinded just that same way in a motorcycle accident. So,
but no, he loved Dwarven Forge and miniatures because, again, he could feel them in his hands. So,
all right.
The charred remains of the door are still in place. You can't tell at a glance if they've been repaired.
That's
So
an optimistic sign, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Well,
Okay.
Turgo,
First
can you
things
go check that
first.
door?
No, first things
Yeah.
first. Didn't we leave your two companions' bodies in the back room, the opposite way? Because I thought that's where we left them.
It is where we left my hirelings, yes. I guess I will go check them out. GM, Jeanin is going to go carefully into that, I think it's the western room where we had left our hirelings, the bodies.
Over here.
Are they still
Yeah.
there or are they gone?
Give me just a hot minute and I will let you know, okay?
Yep.
So for those of you who maybe are watching the stream for the first time, I do like to have the Dwarven Forge and miniatures out there as I can. I'm a fan of Theater of the Mind, and obviously, when the party's on a 300-mile march to Greyhawk, I can't exactly roll out that much battle mat, but we do what we can for a little bit of visual inspiration. And as always, it should remain very clear to players and our audience both. This is for good looking stuff on the tabletop. This is not like count off the exact number of squares because I don't roll like that. Okay, Jeanin. Yes, the bodies are there.
Okay. So
They have begun to smell.
Yeah, of course. So
Did you?
Right, drag them up.
when we're leaving, you want to? I'd rather not do that now.
Well, I'm afraid we're gonna leave fast again and leave them here.
Do it now. Worst comes to
You're
worst, to
gonna-
track something up there. We don't want to bury them right now, but we can at least leave them up at the top.
That's
Yeah.
true. Okay. I put my hirelings on the duty of and myself of trying to get these bodies as good as possible up above, so we can give them a proper burial later.
I'll take
Okay.
his position in the front line, so
Yeah.
the rest of the party can go ahead.
Excellent.
Okay. So there's two bodies. Is that my understanding?
Yeah.
Okay.
Barney and Dora.
All right.
But Carlos is
Jeanin,
still kicking.
Carlos is still
as you make to lift Barney,
Rock
quickly darting out of the corpse onto your arm are two 2-inch long maggot-like creatures.
Screw it! I burned my arm off. Got a torch.
Let's roll initiative. You're not surprised because you're on your toes. So
I should have known. 6.
Serves
it's
us
a
right
tie.
for
It's
trying
a
to be
tie.
nice.
It is a tie. So what are you doing?
Torch arm.
Torch arm. Okay. They burrow under your skin just as you slap the torch on. Let's see. I won't use ear seekers because that's just cruel and unusual. Rod grubs, however. So do you want to roll how much damage you take from sticking a torch to you, or would you like me to?
No, I'll do it to myself.
All right.
What is it? D3? D6?
A d6.
A 1. Yay.
Okay, yeah, it hurts like hell, but they burst and shrivel when you stick the flame to the two little lumps, tumescent things under your arm. Those appear to have been the only two on their bodies.
Okay. They appear that way. We will still carefully attempt to get these bodies out.
Would you like to borrow my bill hook? Prod them a bit first.
We have javelins. That's probably distant enough. Yeah. Anything else that you want me to inflict damage upon myself, Bill?
Not unless you want to.
No, I'm fine.
Okay.
I think I learned my lesson.
There we go.
You're not golf,
Okay.
doing
All future contracts with us will include a free cremation of your body when
On the
Everyone
instant
carries
cremation.
a tinderbox and a flask of oil for use on when they die.
Personal use.
Mandatory
Bringing you meaning
incendiaries,
to
game.
Bringing you
Insist-
meaning to the phrase "final defensive fire." All right, so it takes you some doing, but in about 20 minutes, you're able to haul the bodies out. They're brought up, and now, just for DM's sake, explain the process to me. Do you send a couple of men-at-arms up, then attach the bodies into a chain or something, and then pull them up, or what?
Yeah, you could do that with a rope. Just rope them around the chest
Sure.
and stuff.
We could do it in a minute
Okay.
in the fireman's carry.
Well, yeah, not up a rope. You can't.
No,
up a rope
I
with
meant-
one hand.
Yeah, Gene and I just have stupid strength. We can just fireman's carry them up and climb.
Well, rigor
Can't climb
has
with
set
one arm,
in, so
Hirelings go up. They lower the ropes that they've got, and we lash the bodies and get them up. They can be laid to the side so we can take them when we leave.
however you do it, you get it done.
Where are they going to be buried? Is it like back in the city of Greyhawk, or is this mass graveyard next to the Adventurer's Longhouse? Where
Funny you should ask. Yes,
Nascent mass graveyard. We haven't started digging yet.
I think there's only 2 people in there so far.
There is
that
the
we've
moat.
buried.
Both of my characters, I think.
There's always the moat.
And this is how dungeons grow over time. Because 100 years from now, when there's like 3,000 graves there, the soil would have built up, and there'll be zombies and skeletons and stuff, and other adventurers will come.
Exactly so. Maybe revenants or what have you. But let us go on. You have respectfully removed the bodies of your fallen, and you are all now back in where you see on the camera there. The doorway to the orc's lair, as I said, is charred. It is damaged as you left it a couple of days ago. If they've repaired it, you can't really tell from this side. But it does look like a good... If you put your shoulder into it, it would give way with a quickness.
Does it still have a big gaping hole through it?
Yeah, it's got a couple of pieces of wood out.
Can we see anything?
Yeah, Turgo, why don't you go check it out? I remember there was a large trap that
Yeah.
last time.
Right. I'd like to move up towards it with my 10-foot pole out off to the left side of it. And as I get close enough, I'll prod the door carefully, trying not to make too much noise to see if there's any sort of trap or anything like that there.
Okay. So are you just you're basically just tapping the door, correct?
Yes. First.
Okay. Yeah, it you knock on it and it's as solid as a charred door missing a couple of pieces might be.
Okay, can I peer around the front of it and try to look through one of the missing boards carefully and see if there's anything, if I see anything behind? I have infravision.
Peering into the darkness, you don't see anything to the limits of your infravision.
Okay. All right, I'll move carefully back to the party and inform them of what I've found.
Yeah.
All right, wanna advance ahead?
Yeah, let's go through. I've got an axe. I can axe open the door if we need to axe it and get it open. If it doesn't open by itself.
If it doesn't fall over when we touch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's open. Try and go into that hallway.
Yeah,
Try and
with
scout
a
again.
lit torch in the hand.
Yeah. knowing that there's a pit trap. We know there's a pit
Yes.
trap in there.
That's what the
I'm
game
a bit
plan is
wary
for.
of pit traps. In a past life,
I remember watching that episode, Kyle.
Yeah. Nope, that's what the gangway's for.
Who's opening the door?
Not it.
I will. I'm the first level guy.
And you have a lit
Jason,
torch,
the
correct?
green shirt.
Yes.
Okay. Alrighty, give me a open doors roll. You get significant bonuses because this thing is, despite its thick, its heft and weight, it's burned pretty badly.
Open doors. Boom.
I think it's just a 1 or a 2 for strength 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And a 2 is what I get.
Okay, you put your shoulder to it. You shove the door inward. It grates along the floor. There is a symphony of smashing and tinkling sounds, and I need you to give me a saving throw versus Dragon's Breath, please, Kyle.
And I get a 12. Breath weapons, I need 20, being a first level guy.
Okay.
That's a fail. Without
several-
any bonuses.
From somewhere above, several items, glass items, fall and smash on the floor. Replacement is holding a torch, fortunately, so you can very clearly see the flames that it causes and leap up in front of him. How many hit points has replacement got?
He had 8. Shortly to be
Oh, you're fine. You still got 2. You still got 2. Replacement is engulfed in a sheet of flames. I'm presuming staggers back rather than just bolts forward, screaming in agony.
Bursts into flames, runs forward into the pit. No. Plummets.
I mean, you're dead next turn to fire damage anyway, so you may as well.
Drop and roll.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, somebody can throw a cloak over him or something like that, unless you just want to pull him laugh. Okay, yeah. So
We
We
have
all
to
watch.
learn. We have to learn to stop opening doors without checking them
kind of-
properly.
We did
It's
check.
kind of
Yeah, it was
it's
on
kind
the
of hard to
inside.
explore a dungeon without opening doors.
At
Okay.
this point,
we have to
gotta,
stop teaching the orcs to use fire.
Yeah, that's it. Really, is we should go fight the hobgoblins.
Well, I did.
no,
say
don't
that we
fight the
should make-
hobgoblins. They use acid.
Oh God, no!
I did say we should make a big battering ram, but everyone ignored that.
Okay.
No, we did.
I-
We have a battering ram.
I said you can go cut down a tree.
So you put out replacement, or he puts himself out. Either way, you don't just have to stand there and burn. I've been on fire for a whole minute, and I'll be on fire for another whole minute before I do anything about it.
Look at me! I
So-
am the torch now.
So the door is now open.
After smoke.
And that's when the wave of crossbow bolts comes and finishes everybody off. That's what he did last session.
Let's see. There's replacement. I'm not sure what your marching order is here, so I'm just kind of setting.
Valoric will replace some of the replacements' hit points. I rolled an 8 on your dice roller on the Discord.
Oh, you rolled an 8. Wow, there you go. Replacement. Yeah, exactly. You feel that skin mend right up. It's baby pink new, and it doesn't hurt anymore. And
Hey, do I have to make fire saving throws for all my gear?
no. If it was magic fire, yes, I would absolutely. But just a few pots of oil, normal fire. I'm not gonna, So Oh, I should probably move those orcs out of the way. I actually do have some orcs from a previous encounter still on the board, and I don't want you guys to think that I'm, that this is some kind of weird anti-hit point ATM where you guys show up, deposit some of your hit points, get a little bit of experience, and then leave. So now I hope you lads can at least appreciate some of the scatter terrain that I have down there. There's the barrel still sitting across the pit trap. A few guttering torches along the walls, just some various bits of junk here and again.
Is the pit trap still jammed open?
It is. It is. You want to run forward and see if it's illusory or
I have a gangway.
Sorry. All right. Okay, you may proceed as you like.
All right.
Throw it on the
Turgo, do you
gangplank.
want to go first, or do we want to send me in with the gangway first?
Yeah. So I assume. Well, what do you want to do? I think. I'm happy to continue going first, like we've been doing.
Okay.
Or I can bring up the rear. Either way.
I'll lay the
go-
gangway
I'll
and then
go
you go
first.
across.
Yeah,
I'll go
set up-
first with the gangway, and you guard me while I'm doing it, because I won't be able to fight while I'm carrying a ladder. And if one of us has to
Right.
fight, it's better for you, the higher level guy, to be fighting.
Word. All right, so it sounds
so
like the
so Bill, we go forward side by side, me carrying the ladder, gangway, bridge thing.
Okay. I will point out that there are, let me see. Wow. As you guys are moving up, you've got your gangway and you're proceeding forward there in your marching order. Behind you, you can hear many, many footfalls and voices in common coming, it seems like, from... You guys can you guys see the laser pointer there?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So it's coming from this direction as you guys are moving in that direction.
That's the direction of, I think, the bandit.
Yeah.
The friendly
Mhm.
bandit that we met.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We can let's try and talk to them before we go in there. Because I don't want them hired by the orcs to take us out from behind or something.
Yeah. Can we hear it all, what they're saying, or just that there is talk?
It's just talk. Well, you know what? Here, since you're listening, I'll give you a chance to have exceptional hearing. No, you cannot make it out. It is voices. They are kind of speaking low, but they're not precisely whispering.
Does Bejeebus have a chance of hearing as well? He's got exceptional hearing.
Oh, Bejeebus, yeah. So with your exceptional hearing, yeah, they're like, I don't know. Do you think they're trying to take the orcs down? I don't know. We should double check. Yeah, let's. All right, form up, men. Come on, let's just rubble. That kind of thing. And you do hear, you could see lanterns, torches, that sort of thing. And coming out of the hallway back to the north, you do in fact see some uniformed soldier types, spears and whatnot at the ready. They basically appear to be a mix of light and heavy foot.
Well, either way, so I can't hear what they're saying, but either way, I would lay down the gangway, because if there are people coming, the more...
Turgo, or Doomsword, how about Turgo?
Yeah, I'll just maintain my position.
Okay.
I'll make sure that my bow is drawn with an arrow at the ready.
All right, Mark, how about Genin?
Genin will will turn ready to have his weapon out if he needs to, but he wants to try to defuse the situation. Like if he sees these people show up, he's like, "Hey, what's going on?"
All right.
Make any trouble.
Mr. Kyle, your dwarf character, please. What are you doing?
Average is going to heft his greatsword and watch the other end of the hallway. Actually, at this point, do I have clear line of sight across the pit?
Yes, you do.
Then I'll get my bow out instead.
Okay. Valoric and Bejeebus.
Bejeebus is readying his crossbow, but he's not going to aim it at anybody, but he will look towards the oncoming men. And
okay.
Of course, Valoric's going to get a flask of oil out just in case.
And finally, Lynx.
I'm not going to draw my weapon, but I'll just have my torch and shield out, ready to talk.
Okay. The fellow you see is not an orc. I just want to give you guys an indication of where they're standing.
It's an orc. Get him.
Get her, Ray. That's your plan. He must be a captain. His helmet has a plume on it. He steps into the circle, but there are to hand a couple of crossbowmen, and behind them a couple of spearmen, and he recognizes this guy, and he says, "Well, hello. How are you doing?"
You're Carlos, aren't you?
Carlos.
I am, my friend.
Hey, how is it going?
Oh, it's going pretty good. Hey, you're really causing problems with the orcs. They hate you, man.
Is that going to be a problem between us?
No, it's not going to be a problem between us.
Good. Yeah, we just want to
hate them.
Yeah, we need to get rid of these guys.
All right. Well, listen. You take care of what you need to take care of. I just didn't know if the orcs were coming out making trouble. There's a hell of a problem. They get in fights with the hobgoblins. The hobgoblins come and try to attack us sometimes. We a little door they got to come through. But less said about that, the better. Well, good luck.
Thanks, Carlos.
Hey, no,
Yeah?
I'm not there. Never mind. I'm not.
Okay.
Nope.
Have
All
they
right.
been doing anything? Anything that you could pass on to a friend right here?
I'm sorry. DM's a little. What are you asking? I'm a little confused on that.
Have the orcs been doing anything recently that you could pass on to a friend?
Oh, no, we see them out here in the cistern sometimes. We have a very, live and don't kill each other arrangement down here. So, we don't much interfere with them, and they don't much interfere with us. I can't say I like them very much, but you know how it is.
Yeah, it's the smell. I know. Yeah.
Well, He
Okay.
kind of gestures over his shoulder back the direction they came and says, "It's not the best base of operations in the world, but we don't get too much trouble from patrols in the city, and Well, listen, my friends, I wish you the best of luck, and if you ever want to join up with us, come on down the hallway and watch out for the floor, yeah?"
Thanks, Carlos. We'll keep that in mind.
All right. He turns and says, "See, they're fine." And he and his 14 other troops march back down the hall. The rhythm of their footsteps changing slightly. As you guess, they're probably very carefully stepping over the mechanical trap that is near their portcullis, which you hear ratchet open and then shut after a few minutes. All right.
About them orcs.
Yeah.
Okay. Turgo, you across the gangway first?
Yeah, has that been placed across the pit, or
Yes.
was that just placed
Yep.
on the floor?
I'll put it down.
That's across the pit. Yeah, I'll make my way across it.
All right, Turgo. You're across the pit. There's arrowheads here and again, broken potsherds from thrown flasks, and charred bits of wood and.
Yeah. By the way, are there any like intact arrows that perhaps I can recover?
Oh yeah. So how many did you rip off last session?
14.
So you have the barrel there, and as I said, there's the freestanding torches here and again. You're able to collect up a total of 7.
Great, thank you.
The rest are burned or otherwise ruined.
Okay.
Is any extra scorpion ammunition down here?
No.
Okay.
All right. Well, I guess Turgo first, and the rest of us following.
Okay, and valued audience, and of course to players, for the sake of my sanity and what's left of the paint jobs on most of my minis, we will once again be using the Turgo miniature as a guidon. Should it be necessary to put miniatures out, like, well, I'm going to be over in this corner of the room, and I'm going to go down there, and I'm turning and running, then we'll move the other miniatures up as we need. So for those of you in the audience who might be watching and are like, hey, where is everybody? That's how we roll here on the channel. So
actually,
so Turgo, you are well, you're right there where I placed your miniature party, with Turgo taking point, I'm guessing.
Right. And trying to stay out of any, just beyond any torchlight, so as not to spoil infravision.
Okay. So that's actually going to put you, let me see here. Anybody know torch radius off the top of your heads?
It's 15, right?
15 of bright and then 15 of dim.
I've always played 15-foot actual visibility, but so 30 foot across. But it may actually be noticeable at a distance, even if it doesn't illuminate anything.
Yeah. Listen, Raven, we're not playing the whole, dim light, bright light, deep light.
No, I'm just saying, like, because there's difference between, like, how much can you see holding the torch and whether or not somebody can see you with your torch.
Mm-hmm.
I gotcha.
That's the only useful distinction.
All right, let me see here. Let me get down to the light section.
Just don't look up a Lindy Page video on torchlight.
I love that video. I really do.
It's actually 40 feet. It's a 40 foot radius of illumination. So Turgo 20 feet out is basically where you're going to have to be to not have that screwing with your infravision. So you're 20 feet ahead of the party, and by the way, I always thought this was fun, just as I get ready to describe the next section. For those of you younger DMs who might not know this, if you've never looked closely and carefully at the Wandering Monster tables, down on the 10th level of a dungeon, parties can bump into Asmodeus and just be strolling around down there, and oh, hey, look, a major devil.
Well, when you do the random dungeon generation one, you can technically get Asmodeus at first level, because it can say, oh, yep, go look at it. On first level, normally you just get first level monsters, but if you roll 96 to 100 or something, then it'll say, okay, choose a second level monster. And then you can go to that chart and choose a third level monster in that. So if you roll right, you can get Asmodeus strolling around the first level of the dungeon.
That's rolling wrong.
I think that's rolling perfectly myself.
RuneQuest does a similar thing where, like, as part of wandering around, you can actually end up in the next terrain type. So you can be in the city and then find yourself in a village area, and then find yourself in a wilderness area, and then find yourself in a dungeon, and so on. So if you roll right, you could just be like, you could turn a corner somewhere in the city, walk down an alley, and then find yourself on the 638th level of the abyss.
Okay. Now I get to have a little fun because I get to use one of my lovely miniatures. This is a WizKid mini that I slop painted, but it works.
Tiamat.
No.
Is that a beholder?
I don't have a self-painted Tiamat yet. I do have the old Grenadier mini, which was given to me by Mark Corey, but she's not painted yet. No, Turgo, this is or party. Over here. And let's check to see if you're surprised by that swarm of rats that comes crawling around the corner.
No.
What is Turgo's dex again?
16.
16. Okay, so you are surprised for a segment round. The rats. Well, let's see. Were you trying to stealth your way along?
That's my. I didn't explicitly state that this
Sure.
time, but that's my general MO.
Okay. The rats are not surprised by you. You're a little startled by them. They're kind of snuffling and sniffing in the air, and they look at you with little beady red eyes and, squeakity squeak, streak, and begin to shuffle along, come crawling around. They will spend their round basically racing towards you, bounding over one another, these skinny, feral, giant rats. And the rest of you can hear the snuffling and scratching and shrieking and squeaking of these creatures as they're rushing forwards. You're all familiar enough with the sounds. Now is the time on Sprockets where we do declarations. Kyle, what is replacement doing?
Running up with my torch, ready to wave it about and try to scare off the rats in front of.
Okay, replacement is moving this round. Doomsword, what is Turgo doing?
I'm blasting with my short sword.
All right, Mark, how about Genin and servants?
Running up and doing what we can with swords.
Okay. Mr. Kyle, what is Average doing?
I have a bow, and I'll use it because I think it's really crowded up there at this point.
Okay. Valoric and Bejibus. Sorry. What are you doing there, James?
Watching the dwarf shoot the arrows. I don't want to get in front of his bow.
Understood. And last and definitely not least, what is Lynx the Fighter doing?
It's pretty crowded up there. I'm gonna draw my bow too.
Okay. Well, since it's your huevos in the fire there, Doomsword, why don't you go ahead and roll initiative?
2.
Okay. The rats, 4 of them are able to nibble on you.
They're able to try.
They're able to try. What is Turgo's armor class?
6.
6. Okay, that is 1 hit. That is 2 hits. 3 rats hit you. Let's see. They're rat monsters. They're like rust monsters, but let's see.
Dysentery. Welcome to the Oregon Trail.
All right. All right, so you take a grand total of 7 hit points of damage. And oh, that was. And you do not immediately contract typhus from them. Missile fire for the party going first. Shoot.
Armor class. I rolled a 12. Fighter 3.
All right.
It's an edge
A 12 and an 11. Let's see. Oh, Dungeon Minister, that is evil. I'll put that up. Rat monster. Everything it touches turns to rats.
Nice.
Is that kind of what a were-rat would do? I mean, when you think about it.
It has to lick you first.
Let's see now. So that was an 11 and a 12 on those missile attacks.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So the 12 will hit. The 11 will not. And you actually don't shoot Turgo between the shoulder blades.
Thank you.
Yay.
Excellent. That's a 4 for damage.
Okay. Yes, that rat perishes. All right. Melee attacks now. Those of you who are moving up, move up, but you will melee in the next round.
All right, I'll
Turgo,
attack then.
do it.
Miss.
Okay. Squeakity, squeakin', squeak, squeak. All right.
Was
The
replacement
rats are
charging. Pardon me. Was replacement charging, or just moving up?
just moving up was my understanding.
Just moving up. I wanted to wave the torch around.
All right. So you're.
Most animals are afraid of fire, and I'm hoping that these dungeon rats are the same.
Okay, so in the next round, you're waving your torch at them. Turgo,
Do we get parting shots with the bows as well?
bows have ROF of 2, so yes, you can take your second shots. Sorry.
Nope.
Hey, I hit that time.
All right.
For 6.
Okay, that is 6 points to a rat, and it dies. So there are now 9 rats. No, I'm sorry, there are now 8 rats. My mistake. 8 rats, and 4 of them are currently trying to eat Turgo. You are waving your torch around. Everyone that can move up into melee has moved up into melee.
I will physically try to hit one. But,
Sure, I've got you.
It's my hope that I might induce a saving throw or something to encourage them to back off.
Sure, Kyle. Since you're rushing up there, why don't you go ahead and roll initiative for the party?
Okay. 2.
All right. It is simultaneous combat. The rats scree and begin running in circles and fleeing from your torch as best they can. Those of you that wish to may take parting shots at them in melee. Those of you with missile weapons...
I think will be hit with a 15.
All right. And any fighters up there, remember, these are sub-hit die creatures, so you can attack them.
And
You can
I
melee-
hit AC 6 with my shield.
That will hit. That will hit.
One of them takes... Oops, wrong one. 5 points of damage.
That is enough to kill it.
One of my hirelings gets hit with 4 points of damage, and Jeanin manages to swing the lot and hit nothing.
Okay, so Turgo,
I did
replacement, and Jeanan's hireling slay 4 of them. Well, what did Jeanan roll? Or what did
Jeanin rolled sub 10, like 6 rolls in a row.
Oh, God.
Ouch.
well, you're getting a +4 bonus, so that will actually hit because they are fleeing.
Oh crap! Okay, so yeah, any of those things would have a +3 damage on them. So That's
Yeah, so
minimum of
that
4.
yeah, that kills the rat you were swinging at. Gina's a Gina's a fighter, right? Yeah. So
he uses 2 weapons, so he could roll 6 times. I rolled 6
yes.
times. They were all very low rolls, but a few of them were probably close enough. If you wish to allow me.
Yeah. Let's just
Bye bye rats.
yeah. So you wade in and skewer a bunch.
I forgot about the +4. I should have checked with you on the rolls.
No, that's fine. Turgo kind of slumps against the wall. You've got bites all over you. It hasn't been a good night for dealing with vermin for your party.
I mean, we've dealt with them.
You've dealt with them, but
And they dealt with us.
indeed.
Well, this is where
All
the
right.
cleric earns his pay.
We pay him.
That's a good point, actually.
Okay. Valoric, you gonna do some?
Sorry. Yeah. Volork steps up and sighs, stares at him,
Lob.
and he does the 8, 6 points.
All right. I'm only down 1, so that's fine.
There you go. And
Thank you.
I can reveal a little bit more of the scatter.
We're gonna finally get this far into the dungeon and realize it's completely abandoned, and the orcs have given up and left and said, we're taking all of our treasure, headed to Hawaii.
Please don't follow. We have filed a report with police.
Here's our detaining order.
It wouldn't be as much fun as if we got rid of them, but that would still be progress.
Agreed.
And again, my apologies, folks. I have the tripod that the quick cam is sitting on is too tall, and the tabletop tripod that I have is too short. So either way, it's going to be kind of a blurry mess, and I apologize for that. But I'll try and remedy that for both our viewers and our players in the future. I promise there's cool stuff down there. I'll post up some pictures of it on the Discord. But you have dealt with the rats.
Do we have to deal with the Space Marines next?
I was going to say, a Stargate opens up.
In the name of the Emperor, cleanse, purge, kill.
Hear me out, guys. If we just get 1 suit of that armor.
Oh yeah. If we can just harvest their second liver.
Yeah, no kidding.
Kings.
Yeah, sorry, the resin printed Terminators over there at the end of the dungeon do not exist in this universe. They are brother not appearing in this adventure.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Your AC minus 20,
A quick scan of this room. Is there anything majorly different from when we last left it? Maybe some more bodies?
No, there's the table in the corner there that's got various garbage piled on it. The sacks of moldy wheat, torches, open door that way.
The door is open.
The door is open.
That's good. So I don't have to check for traps on it because it was trapped one time.
Yes. it was.
You'd think that.
Still check it for traps, because you know.
Send the
Damn it,
thief
why
word.
did I say that out loud? I said the quiet part out loud again, didn't I?
Hey, you can just drop some piercers on me while I walk up there.
Actually,
No,
there were
I
piercers.
heard it.
No, there were piercers right past that door. They
That's
hit
true.
me. So check the ceiling.
Okay, while you're checking the ceiling, the trapper underneath your feet. No, I'm just kidding.
It's like a floor. The floor piercer shows up. It just comes out.
Yeah, there's a creature in D&D called a trapper. There's a piercer Really, all you need is a fire-breathing creature called a Burns, and you've got the important cast of MASH right there. Okay. Nothing comes sniffing around the corner for you guys. What do you
If
wish
you get
to
a
do?
rifle, you can have a Winchester. So, yeah.
Ah!
I'll take the rifle.
That's when I break out the artifact discovery tables from Gamma World. Kyle.
Our radar must have been a thief.
Oh God! Without a doubt, Radar was a thief.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So through this
go ahead.
door is another door.
Yes.
Okay.
Looking through that door is closed.
Okay. Last time we
Pack
went
it
through
in,
that door,
guys.
I got shot with lots of arrows and burst and was put on.
That's right. I'll open it this time. I'll go and I'll listen at the door.
Okay, good.
All right. You really can't hear anything above the din of ear seekers, so you don't. Yeah, there's nothing for you to tell. Now, everyone in the audience, if you're new to the audience of the show, I constantly joke about ear seekers. They don't exist in my campaign. I have a dozen other ways to kill characters than those ridiculous things. So you do not hear anything at the door.
Can I try as well?
Sure. Oh wait, this is your standard thieves. Hear noise.
Yeah, I've got a 20.
Nice.
You are absolutely certain there is nothing making noise on the other side of that door.
All right,
Okay.
seems clear.
I will gently try the door. Does it open easily?
Gently but firmly, using your warm, strong hands against the door. Yeah, you're able to put your shoulder into it, and it starts to give way.
Okay. And I open up the door, but without going through it.
Okay. You hear shouts and thuds. Whatever is on the other side of the door has seen what you have done. You hear feet rushing about and orcish voices shouting. Those of you, I'm sure all of you have picked up at least a little bit of orc to understand.
Fluent.
Understand the orcs yelling, basically, alarm, adesmoi, alert,
Re-yark.
attention,
Hey, Rue.
Briark. There you go.
Okay. Well, let's let them come through the door. Yeah, I'll see.
They don't know him.
Sit
You
up.
could just say sorry real fast and try and
My
Oops,
sincere
sorry, wrong
apologies.
I call out and I say, "It's me, Carlos."
All right.
I guess we form a defensive line again.
The orc voice calls out, "Come through the door and be identified, you swine."
Is there room for me to shuffle up towards the
Hey,
front?
that's not very friendly. Why don't you come out to see us?
You're a pack of degenerates. You probably led those adventurers straight to us.
That's what we're coming to tell
My
you.
boys will chop you to pastrami. Get in here. You've got a lot to answer for,
That's what
Carlos.
we're coming to tell you, man. Those fucking adventurers are wandering around again.
Okay. You hear the tramp of feet approaching the door.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Approach.
I have a great sword with their name on it.
I'm going to back
Okay.
off with my bow drawn.
All right. I will show you what you see when the door is opened.
I'm hoping that it's the leader that opens the door.
This named is Griash, and this one's. And there's 37 of them.
For sanity's sake, orc as Guidon.
That means the flood's coming.
Mm-hmm. Hey, dwarves are perfect for the front line. They're just short enough to where you can shoot over their head.
Okay, is there leader type at the door?
Okay, so the passage is wide enough to admit a couple of large humanoid creatures. They're not orcs. They're yellow-skinned. They're about 9.5 feet tall. One has a stone axe, and the other has a broad-headed spear in his hands. These are ogres that wrench the door open.
Okay.
One of them
Awesome.
One of them points at one of you and goes, "Which one, Carlos?"
A point at replacement.
We all
really-
point at the intern.
No
Gotta
hesitation.
say, behind
I'm sorry, you broke right up. What did you say? What?
I say, behind you.
All right, ogres are pretty dim. I'm going to give that a chance to work. They're not that stupid. They say, "Yeah, we going behind us. You come here, runty. Rest of you." You wait here. He's reaching out to grab you. Are you guys going to attack, or are you just going to kind of let this unfold from an RP standpoint?
I guess I gotta separate the hand from the wrist.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
let's
Yeah, 'cause see,
roll.
Last time I tried to trick and negotiate in a previous life, it didn't work so good. So
I mean, it worked great
this is
for the kobolds.
this is as far as
For the
I'm willing to
kobolds.
take the tricking negotiating.
At least you brought their shock troops up front. That'll go
All right.
well.
All right, Mr. Kyle, why don't you roll initiative for the side? What'd you get?
4.
A 4. Okay.
Same
The ogres are a little bit faster on their feet than you would like. They see the weapons come out, and they quickly bring their weapons up. So that is going to miss you. Replacement, which is probably good.
One hit and I'm down.
Yeah, well, I mean, I could roll a 1 on damage. It's absolutely possible. Back when I was heavily into heavily into BattleTech, I once sat down and figured out that the dreaded Atlas could shoot a Locust battle mech. They're literally the first and last war machines in the technical readout. The Locust, as its name implies, being a very low armored scout unit that relies on speed, seeing what it has to, and then getting the hell away to report back to units. And Atlas, again, as the name implies, being, the destroyer of worlds, that the Locust could be shot everywhere one time by the Atlas's weapons and survive, potentially. But any doubling up on location hits would end its day. But it could absorb one full volley in every location. But anyway, moving right along. So these big boys, that is a miss with the first one. What is your armor class is 3? Is that correct? For Average?
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, the stone axe slams into you. I hate you, runties! And you take 4 points of damage.
Oogie.
Counterattacks!
How many people can get up here to attack these guys?
Three across, and replacement and average are up there already. Anyone with pole arms may strike from the second rank. It doesn't matter what pole arms, because all pole arms are the same, and arguing over the differences is silly.
Do I get a bonus
strike
against
from the
giant type
second rank?
enemies? Whoops, sorry.
There was some cross talk. Yes, 16 will hit, Kyle. And these are large. What was your question?
Can javelin strike from the second rank?
Yes, in this close quarters they can.
Cool. So I'll have my hirelings behind.
Okay.
As the ogres are large, 9 feet tall critters, can we shoot over everyone with
Take
a
8
crossbow?
points of damage.
Oh, okay. The ogre didn't like that. Yes, you can shoot at. There's still a chance you'll hit the characters, but sorry, Van, you had a question.
18 points of damage, and B, as a dwarf, do I get a bonus against giant bloody creatures?
No, that's for rangers only.
Okay.
Right.
And,
18 points of damage, you say. Wow, okay. He
3d6, I got an 18. It's almost average.
no, 3d6, you got an 18. That is perfect.
I have a plus 6 to strength, so that was,
that's right. Okay, yeah. So yeah, you got
gauntlets of ogre power.
That would be awesome. When you die, I'm going to take it.
That's what everybody says.
All right, so
There's a queue.
all right, so the ogre drops over dead, stabbed and slashed in a million places. The other one is still up and now realizes he's fighting for his life, and he's yelling over his shoulder, going, "They're very pokey!" And you hear heavy footfalls coming. Was there any missile fire? Valorca.
Bejeebus took a shot and he missed with a 2.
Okay.
And I'd like to take a shot as well.
Go ahead.
And I had armor class 5.
That will hit.
Oh, great.
Sufficiente.
For 3 points of damage.
Okay. Men at arms. Anyone else striking with pole arms?
I rolled for my men at arms and they rolled poorly.
Okay. So there's one ogre up. There's a couple of very large orcs. They're not quite ogre sized. That are moving up also. So let's see. Second round missile fire, please.
That's a miss for me.
All right.
Hang on just a second. Let me bring up the Discord.
You like that die roller over there?
Yeah. Oh, got a 13 that time.
Oh, that will hit. Let me see if it hits a player. It does. Let's see.
2 points of damage.
1, 2, 3. I'm only 2 points.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I see that. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is going to be 2 points of damage to replacement. You'll arrow slam into your shoulder.
The cleric
You like
the
it
mage
in the
take it
shoulder.
away.
I will take his place if he's down.
Not yet.
Okay, I thought you had
dead
2
yet.
left. That's why.
Yeah. No, he's still he's still up. He's still up.
I'm not dead yet. I'm getting better.
He'll be stone dead in an hour. Okay. 2. I said they were ogres, but they have orcish features, but they're sort of bluish gray skinned. They're taller than orcs, but they're shorter than an ogre. And they have 2-handed axes. They seem to combine the worst aspects of all So let's start with replacement. What is he going to be doing in the next round?
Heck.
Turgo,
Missile fire.
With the spear as well.
Genin,
Stab.
how about Average, stabby?
Sword.
All right, Valoric and Bajibus.
Valoric's preparing spiritual hammer, and guess Bejeebus will draw his long sword in case somebody falls.
Okay, and Lynx.
Poke.
All right. How about Mobius? You go ahead and roll initiative for us, bud. You haven't done that tonight, I don't think. What'd you get, bud? You're muted.
Oh, you mean me?
No.
Did
I'm
you
sorry,
say
did I?
Mobius?
Yeah, I think you said Mobius.
I'm sorry. I was
You're confusing Gamma World.
yes. No, I was looking at. I've been scrolling back through chat to make sure I didn't miss anything. I'm having a senior moment, guys. Somebody roll initiative, please.
Links.
I got
to
a
it.
5. Got a 5.
All right, party goes first. That's easy enough.
Missile fire.
Yes, missile fire first.
I'll take a shot, and that will be a miss.
All right. Okay. Anybody else? Any more missile fire? Nope. Let's go to melee.
Will a 9 won't hit? I mean,
A 9 will not hit. No.
Yeah, my rolls are crap today.
I hit
hits-
AC 5.
All right, that will hit. This is versus large.
6 damage.
Okay.
16 damage from me.
Okay. Are you striking at one of the newcomers?
I'm striking at that's because they're still large, right?
They're still large, yes, and that's sufficient to slay it.
Yeah. Well, provided, to be fair, provided an armor class 5 hits.
Yes, that is sufficient to hit.
I got 15. Will that hit him?
Yes, that will hit.
Only 5 points of damage this time, though.
That is sufficient to kill it. So the ogre and one of the you now recognize these are ogrelons. They are half orc, half ogre crossbreeds. There's one ogrelon left. He is all by himself, but you can see there's other figures moving up to fight. So, they will not be here in this round, though, but he does get his counterattack, and then you guys get your missile fire. He knows he's got allies, so he's not running. Wow, okay. This is going to be against Genin. You will take... He is wielding this pike-like axe. Is it an axe-like pike? I'm not sure.
Lockover
thinks-
axe is what you're looking for?
It's just an axe on a long spear-like shaft. So that is 5 points to Genin.
Ugh.
And at the end of this round, normal orcs with scimitars and shields are moving up to fill the gap. But they are yelling the orcish word for doom. They're like over their shoulders. They're yelling, "Grignac! Grignac! Grignac!"
Yeah,
At least they know they're doomed.
It's a god. It's probably an ape god.
Okay.
Is my spiritual hammer going off this next round?
Your spiritual hammer will go, yes, in the next round.
Okay.
final missile fire from anyone who's shooting a second time?
And that's a miss.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So, let's go around the table. Kyle, what is replacement doing?
Attacking anyone who's directly in front of me. I'm not.
Okay, you have a couple of orcs and an ogre lawn who is still on its feet. Turgo,
Yeah.
Missile fire.
Jinan,
Again, will attempt to hit anything, mainly that room.
Average,
Sword.
Valoric and Bejeebus.
Valoric's going to smash with a spiritual hammer, and Bejeebus will be ready to back up anybody who falls.
All right, Lynx.
Javelin, stab.
Okay, then why don't you roll initiative for us, my guy?
Hey, you got a 6 this time.
Okay, party will go first. You guys go ahead and do your missile fire. Any missile fire?
Ooh, 20.
All right, let's see. You do not prang, party member.
1 point of damage.
Okay. It might have actually been good to make that the time you shot a character.
Yeah.
Melee attacks.
Nope.
Are those orcs don't count as large, right?
No, not anymore. There's
No,
just
they-
the Ogre lawn.
Will a 17
14
hit
hit?
the Ogrelon?
14 will hit. 17 will hit.
Oh, they're
Yeah.
large. Oh, crap.
Missed
No,
with a hammer.
Ogrelon. Is an Ogrelon large?
The Ogre lawn is large, yes.
Does an AC
Okay,
7
I'll focus on the
hit
ogre
orc?
one then.
AC 7 does not hit the orc. I'm sorry.
That's a big whiff for me then.
Okay.
7 points against the
I only do
Ogrelon?
3 points of. I only do 3 points on the ogre one.
With Jinan's sword blows in yours, that's enough to drop the Ogre lawn.
And one of my hirelings pokes an orc for 1 point of damage.
Okay, it's still up.
I pulled out new dice. I had to search them out. These ones are
I
weak.
understand.
These ones I
Hey,
keep.
chip damage is good damage.
Okay. Anyone else? Second round of missile fire.
Another 20. Come on, give me a 6. 2 20s in a row.
All
Now,
right. And you,
now I'll get two ones, 5 points of damage.
okay. Yeah, that drops that orc. And you do not shoot a player. So end of the round. The orc is looking around nervously. Your guy, come on! But right about that time, a very calm but gruff, almost kind of amused voice approaching from the far side of the room. Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of the adventuresome. Well, well, well. Hoving out of the door, kind of stooping down on the far side of the room, or the far side of this chamber anyway, is a hill giant.
Oh,
He has a bag. He has a bag at his hip. He is fishing his hand in it. Comes up with a rock about the size of a kobold curled up into a ball. He's just kind of casually tossing it and catching it in his hand and says, "So you're the ones what causing all the fuss."
It's replaced.
Well, I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to let you drop all them shiny stickers, all your little pokies, and you can line up in a row, and I'll give you a little knock each on the back of the head. Real simple, real quick.
Can I give a counter offer?
He's not done. He says, or you can turn and run away. But let me tell you something. Anything goes wrong, anything at all, your fault, my fault, nobody's fault. You're all gonna die.
We need
Counter
this
offer.
treasure.
I'm going to use your skin as a handbag, and I'll charge in if I have a gap.
With that, I also throw my javelin.
That's code for
No,
shooting.
don't charge in. Don't charge in. Don't charge in.
No,
Just let him
he
come
said he was
down the road
charging.
or-
He's
I know.
just
I'm going to wade in because that boulder scares the living out of me.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
the big thing.
Yeah, but we
Charge
can
goes
missile
before
weapons.
initiative. Go ahead and execute your charge.
Set spears. Set spears.
It's not bad. Let me do math here. Armor class 4.
That will be sufficient.
And he's obviously large.
He's obviously large.
14 damage.
Okay.
I rolled poorly.
Do you want me to roll the javelin attack?
No, because now we're on to we're on to initiative. I know what it's about to do. A javelin throw from Lynx the Fighter, yes.
Yes.
Valoric and Bejeebus.
Bejeebus will twang his crossbow and Valoric smacking him upside the head with a hammer.
Genin.
If Genan's close enough, he will attack it with his swords.
No, he's about halfway across the room. You'll have to spend this round closing.
Genan and his band will advance forward.
Okay, how about Turgo
Short bow.
and replacement?
Oh, I don't have missile weapons, so I'll just keep up the rear.
Okay.
There's going to be there's at least one orc floating around.
Yeah, there is an orc still there.
Yeah.
Kyle, roll initiative, please.
Six.
Roll wisely. Ooh.
Okay, it is a tie. It is going to try and pummel Average. Ooh, that is, yeah. Wow, I need to roll a d8 or a couple of them.
Mm-hmm.
I say to the orc,
It's only 10 points of damage,
it's our problem.
I'm still standing.
but not better than you ever did. So he rears back and said, I warned you, runt.
Why don't you just spit a tooth out
I
at
say
him?
to the orc next to me, this isn't our problem. This is their problem. Let's just watch. Should we bet? Should we bet a gold?
Did you just meet the intern orc?
You know, hang on a
I
second.
don't know. We've got extra languages. I haven't established them yet.
Reaction score of 98. The orc pulls out a purse, something metallic, and shakes it, spits in his hand, and offers it to shake.
I shake his hand.
All right. He turns, he crosses his arms, kind of leans against you in a comradely way, and they're watching this fight. The orc is not attacking.
I'm still going to run in.
I mean, if you want to attack him, you certainly can, but he thinks there's a bet on this.
It's probably for the best you're low HP.
Yeah. All right, guys. Missile fire goes first.
Here we go. Ah, miss.
Okay.
Javelin hits for 6.
Hang on. Let's see. Oh.
Or
Sorry. Average, Yeah, javelin catches you, bud. You take 6 points of damage.
I am dead.
Oh.
I'm at -3.
I'm still marking that as a kill.
And that was counts.
Vegeta's hits with a 18 and gets 4 damage.
Okay.
All right.
Man.
Okay. The giant just kind of looks at
I should pretend to be on his side.
Average and then looks at the rest of the party and shrugs his shoulders and tosses the boulder up in his hand and catches it again, and he says, "You had your chance. I'm not playing now."
I hand my coin purse over to the orc and introduce myself, by the way. That's the name. I'm replacing, by the way.
Do you speak Orc? You don't speak Orcish, so he kind of grunts, amiably. What is the rest of the party doing?
I'm going to take my second shot whenever.
All right, go ahead.
19, that will hit.
That will definitely hit.
1 point of damage.
Okay.
Was Valoric going to hit with a spiritual hammer? I thought
He missed.
Yes, make your attack.
Roll a 9. Roll a 9 on his attack roll.
That will miss. He's just kind of waiting along. Arrow sticks in his arm. He just thumps it and sends it flying. Spiritual hammer just kind of whizzes past his head. He's swatting at it like he would a gnat.
Gene and crew are going to attack next round, right? They were advancing forward.
Okay. Sorry, I had to answer a question. So does that end the round? My apologies.
Yeah,
I think it does.
All right.
Yeah,
I know. So yeah, the giant strides forward a little bit, but he doesn't cross the room. He's heaving back to throw the boulder. What is replacement doing? Is he now siding with the orcs?
Okay, so no. I've given my coin purse to the orc and sort of shook his hand and slapped him on the back and gestured him to get the fuck out of the way because it's all going to go down. Let's stand in the doorway, okay? So we'll be ready for if he comes to melee, and then we can exchange missile fire because he's got these nasty missile fire boulders. We've got lots of small missile fire of javelins and stuff.
Yeah, essentially, it's a bunch of light armored vehicles versus a main battle tank. So,
yeah.
Anyone else? Are you guys holding the line then?
I'm just hoping that he's a Russian main battle tank.
Right.
And not an Abrams.
Ping! Damn it, he's an Abrams.
If we can stand back and fire from a distance, then yeah.
Okay.
We can pull out as well.
I'm firing.
All right. Anyone else? Any missile fire from anyone else?
Vegeta's.
I got to avenge Sir Average. I got to go into combat.
You're going to close this round, huh? All right.
You need that big damage. Take
Okay.
it
I
down.
know what we can do. Okay, so hang on. Where are we? Laser point or finger points exactly on that?
Let me see here.
Because we.
Hang on, and I'll get something appropriate sized for the bad guy. Y'all bear with me a minute.
A soda can or something.
It doesn't fit down the corridor.
Should have brought that scorpion.
For real, right? That's why the hill giant's here. He thought he was going to take it with us.
Yeah.
That must have been a hassle dragging that thing up the pit.
There are a lot of change, thanks gods.
We really needed Average's damage.
Yeah.
But this guy's maybe got
Average.
30 left.
I
Take
had
off
a
his
little
bullets.
bit. I have a little bit of a trouble believing that Sir Average charged at the same time I said I was throwing my javelin, got hit, and then got hit with my javelin. Oh.
Are you
so,
like the first guy to
he
kill
doesn't need them anymore.
another party member here?
Yeah, I think so.
he is. Yeah.
I thought it was going to be me for
He's
sure.
not necessarily dead at -3. I thought he was only dead at -10 or something.
I used to
You just have to
play
spend recover.
negative constitution score was when you're dead. But
That's the house rule I use. One of the optional rules in DMG is -10, but then you have to spend
Right.
like a month recovering or something crazy like that.
well, if we can save him, we'll save him. Otherwise, if I kill this hill giant, I'm getting the gauntlets.
Do whatever you guys want to.
Okay, so
I'll leave it up to the DM. I am rolling up another dwarf fighter as we speak, just in case. I just paid to have that art done. I'm not going to waste it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Outlier.
right. First
So
quartile, thank you. First quartile.
Sir, slightly
Okay.
less than average.
All right, so our giantish friend is there, and the party is mostly massed at the door over here.
okay, so we can pull back around that corner, and then he has to sort of come around the corner at us, and we can bling at him as he comes through. Or he can just sit there forever, and then we get to see who's more patient. But I doubt it will be him.
right.
But yeah, I grabbed Sir Average's gauntlets and put them on, and then we go around the corner. Yeah, does that seem reasonable?
So you're going to rush out in the middle of the floor where the giant is, where he just slew, where he didn't kill Sir Average.
Oh, that's right. He's right there. So I was
Yeah.
imagining him flung back, but he was actually plinked in the
Yeah.
back by the
Yes.
He's got a
Flung forward.
kickstand. He's
No, I'm
kind
not
of
gonna-
actually up.
Ah, just okay.
Is -3 technically dead?
yeah, so we'll
though?
pull back around the corner.
That's
yes,
like-
-3 and -3 and below in a single blow is technically dead. Not bleeding out, but dead. But it does not.
If we win this, we might have enough treasure that we can resurrect him anyway.
So Lynx, are you actually charging forward?
I was going to charge forward. I thought.
Okay.
Are you charging with a capital C?
I think so.
Okay, we'll do that before initiative then. Roll your attack at +2.
Geden's going to use his bow when he gets a chance.
All right, we'll do that when we come to initiative.
Come on, Lynx.
It's only 6 damage.
Okay. He just kind of glances down at you. Another one? And rears back to smash you with a rock. Let's roll initiative.
This kitty's got claws.
I'll roll
All right.
4.
It is a tie, so you guys' missiles will be flying in as he is reaching out to give a love tap to Lynx. Oh, that will miss. Well, I'm guessing Lynx has an armor class better than like 6.
Yeah. 2.
Miss with a crossbow.
Oh, yeah.
I'm assuming a 17 will hit, so
17 will hit.
he gets 6 points of damage from an arrow.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. Kyle, are you doing anything? Or are you falling back as you had said?
Yeah, falling back around the corner. Assuming the rest
Okay.
of the guys are doing it. I'll go with the party as a whole. I mean, there might be one lunatic charging, but if the party as a whole is charging in, then I'll go with them.
Okay.
What's the rest of you guys doing?
I got one last smack with a spiritual hammer, and this time I actually hit.
Okay.
Let me see what little bit of damage I do to him.
All right. Roll your damage.
I'm rolling 3 points off of it that time. Not bad.
Okay. All right. He sees you're all staying in the fight and just kind of sighs deeply and looks at the cuts and bruises on him and just sort of shakes his head and looks down at Lynx and sort of gestures at the door, and he's like, "Do you really want to finish this?"
I hate villains that talk to you while they just let me fight you. Oh my god, I'm avenging my friend here.
He looks over at the body of Average and shrugs his shoulders and says, "So be it." Missile fire from the party. Anybody else moving into attack?
But Jeebus is firing a crossbow.
Yep.
Okay.
Genin? 11 hit for Genin?
No, an 11 will not hit. Sorry. Wait. No, we're just getting declarations for the new round.
My apologies. Yes, missile fire.
Oh,
Missile fire. Okay.
Do we still have oil?
Same for me.
I'm sorry. Some crosstalk. What?
Do we still have oil?
I think
You have to ask the party that.
Yeah, we've got Valoric and Bejeebus both have oil. I think a total of 8 flasks.
Did you give
Oh,
oil to
dear.
the man at arms?
Oh yeah, he'll give a couple to you.
Well, then I will have 2 flasks of oil, won't I? So
Yeah.
okay, so
And then Kyle found out he could burn things.
yeah, so I have to spend a round preparing.
All right. So yes, you will spend this round preparing. Regular missile fire from everyone else. Lynx, you're going to melee. Let's roll initiative then, please.
Someone roll.
Yeah, somebody good.
I got a 3.
That's good, but that's not great.
It's better than I would have got.
Okay.
Well, we still got missile fire first.
Lynx, you will take 8 points of damage.
Never liked stone soup.
All right. Kyle, you're preparing your oil. Everybody else that can missile fire in this round, do so.
Missed.
I hit AC 4.
That will hit.
Bejeebus got a 16 and did 1 damage.
Okay.
2 points of damage.
Okay. He just kind of flinches a little bit, looks at the missiles sticking in, plucks them out, and says, "Well, you're persistent. I'll give you that."
We get a second shot.
Melee first.
Oh, right.
Which Lynx, that's you.
I hit AC 4.
That will hit.
Come on.
Yeah, big money.
That's 4. Ugh.
Okay.
The guy you killed did 14.
I'm rolling 2d8. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm switching dice every round.
Me too. Me too.
4 points. I mean, that's... No, that's well below average. Okay. New round. Second missile volley. Sorry, second missile volley.
Can Malort toss a flask of oil at this time? I mean, he didn't do anything.
You're preparing it in the
Okay.
previous round, or
Okay.
you're preparing it this round, rather.
Okay.
I miss.
Okay. Oil is ready. He just looks at the oil flask and says, I'm not getting burned alive for these orcs. If you're going to start throwing that and this isn't going to be a clean fight, then screw this nonsense. Those of you throwing oil are going to be throwing oil. Anybody shooting arrows?
I am.
Lynx, you going to melee?
Yeah, but Jeebus will fire another crossbow bolt.
All right. Go ahead, Kyle, and roll initiative, please. I think you guys will go first.
2.
Yes, you guys will go first. Throw your oils, please.
13.
13. Hang on a second. Will not hit. Let me splash that and see where it goes, because you still might get some of him.
Or some of these.
Don't remind him.
Oh wow! So your oil landed 3 feet short left and did 3 points of damage. So that actually got on him a little bit. Next, throw an oil flask, please.
I got a 2 on my roll. He missed.
All right. Two feet long right and did 2 points of damage. He did not like that. Any other missile fire?
But Jeebus fires a crossbow.
Does it? I'm assuming it's 16 hits.
16 will hit.
2 points.
Okay.
Missed with a 5.
I missed with
Okay.
5.
Okay. Go ahead and make your attack. There, Lynx the fighter.
17. Oh my god. What? 4 damage. All right. 4 damage.
All right.
I'm glad I'm hitting it, but
All right, he's like smacking out the flames that are on him right now, and he's kind of looking around, and he shakes his finger at you, Lynx, and says, "I'll remember you. I will not forget your face, little man." And he proceeds to back off across the room. Do you pursue him? He's basically he's disengaging. So if you wish to attack him one more time, or you wish to leave, that's up to you.
if he's
Let
flipping
him-
me
let him
off,
go
I'm
because
flipping him off
you blink
again,
him.
and I'm telling him my name.
All right,
Lynx.
like the sausage, and he's trucking out of the room.
Oh,
Can we take
he won
a
that
shot
one.
at him?
Well, let's roll initiative.
Watch as they all hit me. And
What'd the party get? Anyone initiative?
One.
Yeah, no, he beats feet before you can get a shot off at him.
Let's collect Avra's body and get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, no. We go and check on Sir Average. Is he still alive? Is he salvageable? Can we bandage wounds or something?
No, he is. There's a slight ringing in his ears, but unfortunately, he's nowhere near them.
The Carolina ones won't help him at
All
all.
right.
No, it'll
right.
make him presentable for open casket.
we may want to do that anyway.
All right.
So,
Well, I'll take his gauntlets of Ogre power.
okay.
Because I've got to be able to carry
You know-
him, don't I? I've only got 9 strength. How can I carry?
I mean, you know that I did technically defeat the giant since we retreated, so I think those are mine.
I did call dibs on them like 4 times so far.
and Lynx did technically defend the guy who had him in the first place.
They go to GMing.
Do they say that on the inside?
All right.
Place from beyond.
I hear a
Blue
voice.
bolts from the
I think I
heavens.
hear my friend from across the void.
All right.
Or we could sell them and use the money to resurrect him. But
I
we
would
should
be
search
okay
this
with that, but
chamber.
maybe that's
We should search this
Gina's
chamber.
call.
Let's get out of here first. And you just reminded me I owe the guy
we
money.
should
Maybe I
search
don't
this
want to.
chamber.
Oh, do I
All
owe
right.
him money?
We should
Search the
search the
chamber. Search
Yeah.
the
Because
chamber.
they went,
Yeah.
they went
The G-Men
fighting
will help
principles
first
also in
before-
heaven.
Okay, this is not. I mean, this is basically the area from the front door to at least here, possibly beyond. You guys have kind of turned into no man's land. So there's not much of value here other than your fallen friend and some loose change in the Ogrillions and Ogre's pockets.
We'll collect the loose change.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Every nickel counts.
Look, if a hill giant ran away from us, nobody else is going to come and bother us in the next 10 minutes. Okay, so we can spend a turn searching, like just beyond. Let's just lift up that black cloth a little bit. And
I am
see what's
100%
beyond.
okay
The
with
fighting,
this.
there was probably a trigger.
I hate to say this, but with one Cure Light Wound spell, I'm probably ready to go again.
We know what's just beyond that doorway. There's a room with 2 doors. One of them leads to a small barracks area. That's where we encountered the centipedes for the first time. After the other side is another doorway. It's to a larger room with a doorway and a very long corridor we never searched down. We've been through here.
Okay, I didn't realize that. 'Cause it was
Yeah.
We did.
You're new to the team. You're new to the team.
Sorry.
You do know that.
And I have to say something as the DM that is so antithetical to everything Kyle and I discuss about playstyle and about pushing as an as an adventuring party. But it is the bottom of the hour.
Oh yeah.
Are you collecting your fellow then?
Yes.
Okay.
Push on.
And I'll go ahead and heal Lynx for 5 points while we're at it.
Awesome. Let's agree to end with collect, average, move them up, and then we continue on.
Put him up in minutes.
Okay. So you're able to get average back to. No, I was just going to say you know whatever your triage point you have set up, your triage collection point, you can get average to that and then return here as you like. But we will pick that up in the next session. Now, I do have to ask my charming co-host if he will be returning to the next session next our Tuesday, your Wednesday.
Oh, that depends if I get parents or not.
I'm sorry, you broke up there, Kyle. What was the? What?
That depends if he gets the gauntlets or not.
Depends.
That's an inter-party thing. I have no control over that. I'm just saying.
You know what I'll say? You have to show up to even contest the gauntlets, so we'll see you back here Tuesday.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough.
All right.
Because I lost all my coin to that damn orc.
That's right.
That sounds like a personal problem.
So to our wonderful audience tonight, thank you all for watching. You make this worth doing. I've always said I would, if I had an audience of 1, I would do it, but I'm glad that I have the audience that I do. To our players and to my co-host, who I had the happy surprise of having as a player tonight. Thank you guys. It was a lot of fun. Sorry about average. Is Mode the magic user next, or Median the cleric?
Currently, Sir Outlier is currently rolled up because I can't not take that joke.
That's fine. We can go with the statistical humor all night long. But I must wrap there because, as always, this chair is starting to cause my back to seize. So I will see you all next week. Audience, I will see you all tomorrow. Kyle will not be here, so we might dive straight into D2 since it makes Luther so very, very angry. We may continue on with the D series now. Thursday, you guys are going to want to be, well, I mean, you guys gaming and you guys in the audience also are going to want to be here because we have Skylar Hernstrom, who is a science fiction fantasy sword and sorcerer author. He's like an actual published author, which I think is pretty awesome. A very metal dude who loves classic AD&D. Sky will be here, and we're going to talk about the stuff he's written and his gaming experiences and his whole deal. That's going to be a ton of fun. And then Friday, of course, Gamma World. Some of you folks will be here for Gamma World. And then we'll just pick the needle up, move it all the way back to track 1 and set it down and do it again on Wednesday, because next week we have TSR vet Steve Marsh will be in the house on Thursday. So if you guys want to hang around for a talk with a great one of the TSR greats, somebody, a true old schooler who helped make our formative gaming years fun, and hopefully has got some other stuff that's happening right now. So we'll talk to Steve Marsh next week. But until then, thank you all, everyone, for being here. Thank you to my players for being here. It was a lot of fun tonight. Peace out, everybody.
Not everybody.
Peace out.